Renaissance Festival is back!
Huzzah!
Weekends, February 4th through April 2nd. Discount tickets available at Bashers and Food City or Arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashers, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
You come out here and you really have a good time. My kids love it.
There's lots of shops to go to. Hair braiding, roof face painting. Oh, and I really like the meat sticks, the turkey. Whoa! Huzzah!
There's so much going on. Make sure you come out early and stay all day.
You can always save on Renaissance Festival admission with discount tickets at Bashers and Food City stores statewide. Huzzah!
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
We went in.
The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best. Tee it up at the 2023 WM Phoenix Open, presented by Taylor Morrison, February 6th through 12th at TPC Scottsdale. Get full tournament information at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
That's WMPhoenix.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale on Martin Luther King Day. That's right. We like to be on the air for Martin Luther King Day because it gives us a chance to talk about Martin Luther King Day. And each year on the third Monday of January, we observe Martin Luther King Jr. Day and reflect on the work that still needs to be done. And believe me, a lot still needs to be done. But yes, we're doing it live, King Kittens. He says, we'll do it live. Nobody was swearing before the show, were they?
No, not that I know of.
Cussing things out, saying the heck. No, we're all good here, King Kittens. It's also Blue Monday. Have you heard of this? This is a new thing that they came up with in England. They did some math and they did some statistics. In 2005, they say that this is the most depressing Monday of the year. And, it is for Ralph because, obvious reasons. The Seahawks. But yeah, I guess it's stuff like bad weather. I don't think this applies to us here. I think that the third Monday of January is always pretty good here because the weather's pretty nice. Yeah, I know it's raining, but compared to what everybody else goes through, this is still pretty good. So I don't think that we get too stressed out or depressed for Blue Monday here in Arizona. But other places where it's cold climate and miserable and dirty snow, that's the thing a lot of people don't. People in Arizona don't see. We see the pictures of look at the beautiful snow and it's all nice. And then the reality of it, and Keon can tell you from spending time in DC, it can be very depressing how dirty the snow gets. The snow plows and the people and the everything. It becomes nasty.
And it takes like a day. It's not like gradually it becomes gross. It's beautiful for exactly 24 hours. And then every second after that, it's brown sludge.
It's like if somebody left a banana out here. It just goes from yellow to to
Yeah.
gross pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, this is not what I wanted to start the show with, but I guess we're gonna. Breaking news just minutes ago. It was reported.
Newsflash.
Well, it was broke already. But I guess it's not. I don't think I'm breaking it, Randy. So I don't think we need this. But
No.
Ian Rappaport says the Arizona Cardinals are planning to hire Titans director of player personnel Monty Awesomefart.
Fort.
Awesome Fart. Awesome
Fort.
Farts is
No,
your.
no, no.
I'm coining it right now.
Fort.
And I want to make sure everybody knows it was me that says his name is Monty Awesome Fart.
It's Fort.
You say whatever you want. Potatoes, fartos. I don't care.
Osen Fort.
Whatever. By the way, have you seen a picture of the guy?
Yeah.
I have a question. The hell does Bidwell have against GMs with hair? Why? Again, another Chrome Dome, but I guess he impressed a lot of people over there with the Titans, and when people, talk to him across the league, they're like, this guy's smart. This guy's pretty good. This guy's smart. So, congratulations, Arizona Cardinals. New GM is going to be Monty Awesomefart.
Osen Fort.
Whatever.
Osen Fort.
So, what do we know about this guy, Ken? What do you know about this awesome fart?
Just that he had a lot of input with the Titans when John Robinson was the general manager there, and I don't know if this is just sort of maybe indicative of a shift that the Cardinals are attempting to make, because the Titans definitely drafted great along the offensive line. That was their strength, and so if you want somebody who's going to be able to go out and draft those kinds of players to be able to identify who is actually good, at the offensive line in particular, I think that's maybe not a bad choice.
Can I tell you how that is amazingly stupid? Because there's more positions than just the offensive line. You need a guy in there who has a good handle on everything, not just my specialty is the offensive line.
Everybody, like you're a general manager, you have to be able to do everything, but that doesn't mean that you can't have something that you were particularly good at, because usually when you're coming up as a scout, you're usually like, you have things that you focus on in particular. So
Awesome Fart is good at O-line. Kime was good at happy hour.
so
I think
already an improvement. And that's not to say that he's not going to understand how to put together a team in other ways, but the fact that his strength is this team's very specific weakness is not a bad place to look.
Jagdog says, suck it, Ralph. Talking all that smack Thursday and Friday. Bye-bye, she chickens. Lakers on a soon-to-be fourth game losing streak. I assume no Ralph in studio today. You are correct. For some reasons, Ralph was just not answering his phone. So I guess that's that. Was he impossible last week? Was he all full of ridiculous?
Well, no, at least on Thursday. I wasn't here on Friday because it was Friday the 13th. And, it's my new contract. I clearly don't work on Friday the 13th. So,
it's probably, I think it's silly, but whatever makes you happy.
Okay.
Were you underground again this year?
Yes. Yeah. I was in the bunker.
One of these days, I'm going to get the combination. I'm going to chuck a black cat down in there and a couple of step stools.
No.
This thing runs underneath the ladders.
No.
Just maybe send some mirrors crashing down as well.
Oh, did you hear this superstition? When you see, if a roadrunner crosses your path, you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to cuss it out. That is a Spanish tradition. And I found that out. And so now every time I see a roadrunner, I let loose all the dirty words that George Carlin warned us about. And then my wife has to keep reminding me, it's not when it's on the cartoons. And
that's a good one.
We were walking, we were on a walk the other day, and it was over there was a roadrunner in the wash, and I just let loose on that. And I felt like I was protecting it. The old people walking by thought I was talking to them, and it was awkward.
Well, yeah.
But I guess it's only if they cross your path, then you swear at them profuse. I don't know why. If somebody out there is of the Hispanic nature and can explain to me why we do this, but I'm just happy to do it. It's like permission.
It's a shame Wile E. Coyote can't talk, because
he did once. He did once in one cartoon. They had one where he would speak. And he was in this shack and he was making explosives and he was talking to himself. And he's like, he goes, oh, this genius plan. Wile E. Coyote, super genius. I like the way that sounds. And then a train hit and he blew up in the bomb
he
shack.
should have used his words to swear. It would save him a lot of trouble.
Well, he's not Hispanic. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway,
could be a Spanish gray wolf.
If he was Hispanic, he'd be smart enough to catch that thing.
Yeah.
But here's the point. I got to swear at a bird. That's all that matters. How do we get on this again? Oh, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So there's another one for your good luck repertoire, Randy.
All right. Thank you.
You see a road runner, just let loose. That's
Writing it down. Writing it down now.
CK says, ha, 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 ha. Sea Hags blow. Welcome back, Jeffrey and Randy, and suck it, Ralph. Cardinal Art says, great show, guys. May I please, Randy, please have an entire bottle of your finest Jimmy Walker Blue Label for my burned up Minnesota Vikings jersey and a shirt mid bonfire. Hasn't been the same since. His friend Reno, Gold Skull. You like that, huh? In my cousin's choke voice, you like that? We're not giving you a full bottle.
Not a whole bottle. Here you go.
If you sit here and you drink a few shots at a time and it pulls off a bottle and we stick you an Uber and send you home, that's fine. But no, we're not handing out bottles. What kind of place do you think this is? I don't think we've ever done that. Have we ever done that?
No.
Okay. Miss Pringle says Chargers pulled off a brilliant choke job. Matt Ryan, be proud of that. Yeah, we'll get to that. We're going to get to all the games. Jagdog says, hey, what's up with the Suns coach? Monty's little mustache, the little Hitler mustache thing he's got going there.
Excuse me?
I have not seen this Jagdog. Maybe he's just bad at growing a mustache and you can't see all of it. Big Stanky asks a really good question right now. Has anyone checked on Donnie today? I saw a brilliant Twitter exchange. George just goes on there, Donnie, and he does the whole thing and just heckles him about how he ridiculed the Cardinals for being first round of the playoffs out team last year. And he just heckles him, and Donnie's response was just F you. And that was it. It was beautiful. It was perfect. And I didn't even want to comment on it. I was like, why would you mess with this perfection between George and Donnie? So
shot chaser.
Yeah. So all right. So awesome fart GM. So now you got to start thinking, all right, they brought in the guy who used to be with the Titans, and he's going to have an impact on who the new head coach is. We have no idea what this guy would be thinking or suggesting to Michael Bidwell.
Well, I mean, the one thing that is significant to me, that stands out to me, is he has no ties whatsoever to Sean Payton. And if the Cardinals are indeed serious about Sean Payton, I wonder if this puts a wrench in the monkey works.
Bless your heart. You don't have a shot at Sean Payton. You don't have a shot at Sean Payton. You don't have a shot at Sean Payton. Nobody has a shot at Sean Payton.
As good a shot as anybody.
Coach a team this year. That's next year. He will not coach.
Think he has.
That is my hot take prediction.
Okay. Well,
and here's why you have no shot beyond that. If I'm wrong, here's why you have no shot. Because he has said that one of the things he's looking for is stability in the ownership. Now, we haven't seen that. And
I mean, how much more stability can you get aside from the Cardinals having the same team being the team being owned by the same ownership for how long? 50 plus years?
Stability doesn't mean they've been there a long time. Stability means making smart decisions and not mucking with the works. You think Bidwell's been mucking with the works, well then why would Sean Payton want anything to do with a guy who's going to be in his business all the time? And if they hire a GM, now that means that Sean Payton is not able to be GM and coach at the same time, or have that sort of influence. This just became, with this hiring, a very unattractive place for Sean Payton.
I don't see why it would be unattractive, but okay.
I mean, I'm sorry to break it to you. You're not getting Sean Payton.
Just based on what Sean Payton wants, or at least, what it's been reported that he wants. If you hire a GM, it does seem to put you at least behind everybody else in the running.
Can you hire a coach today, or is there like a deadline where like, okay, you can't hire a new coach for the next season until X a day? Can you just, if you interview a bunch of people and say, boom, that's our coach, you're fine right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want
it's kind of interesting. You think somebody to hire a coach by now.
Well, yeah, but they're going through the whole process. They're interviewing multiple candidates. Some candidates maybe are coaching as assistants and playoff teams. So they're going to be waiting until those runs are over. Yeah, I mean, like for instance, the Cardinals requested to interview DeMeco Ryans, with the Niners. Well, he may want to wait until that playoff run is over So they're going to have to sit there and wait. So no one's going to make that hire necessarily right now.
Everybody is interviewing everybody. It's just, just don't even ask. Everybody is interviewing everybody. Everybody who needs a coach is interviewing everybody who might end up being a coach. I mean, you look down the list. I keep seeing these news alerts. Everybody is interviewing everybody. The one thing that I saw that I don't like from my Indianapolis Colts is they want to interview Wink Martindale to be a head coach. Wink Martindale. He might not survive a season as a head coach. And I don't mean he get fired. I mean, he don't look healthy. That looks like a guy who could drop on the field at any moment. Seriously.
I don't think you're wrong.
That makes me very, very nervous and uncomfortable.
He might be the first head coach you might have to make pass a physical before you hire him, just to make sure that a doctor says he's going to live through a 17-week season.
He'll make you forget the name Hamlin, is what I'm telling you, because that'll happen. Mr. Pringle says, so Monty's now the GM of the Cardinals? What, is he giving up on the Suns? No, it's different Monty. No. Different Monty, Mr. Pringle. Go look at Ian Rappaport's story there. So he was the director of player personnel for the Titans, and the word on the street is he will be the new GM of the Arizona Cardinals.
His most recent was the player personnel with the Titans. He also has a history with the New England Patriots.
All right. Well, that just tells you it must be a smart kid or guy, somebody, at least he seems like he knows some stuff and he's impressed some people. I don't know what that means in the end, but at least there's that, Randy.
I am intrigued to see how this plays out, and I still think we're in the running for Peyton.
Yeah, okay. 888-368-1580. So let's talk about some other things real quick. We're going to jump into all the games that happened over the weekend. We'll talk about tonight's game. And I don't know if you guys did picks while I was gone, but we'll talk about that for a few minutes later too. But right now, let's just review how some of our teams are doing. So the first thing I want to look at is ASU. They're right now on a 4-game winning streak. They beat the Washingtons. They beat the Oregons. So they are second place in the Pac-12 standings, and Arizona all the way down there at 4-3.
So just by the way, the Arizona who just lost to the Oregon Ducks that the Sun Devils beat pretty handily, I believe.
So Arizona lost to one of the Washingtons, lost to one of the Oregons, yet we've just plowed through all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of the fact that it's in crack meth addict Tucson, what is wrong with the Arizona right now? I thought they were supposed to be this basketball powerhouse, Keon.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure because the talent is there. When I take the time to watch them, and I didn't get to watch them this weekend, unfortunately, so I couldn't tell you, from just watching it what went wrong. But it just seems like, they were supposed to be able to go on this season, new basketball coach, and it seemed like they weren't going to miss a beat. But I'm starting to see some of the hiccups that transition has, that you hire a new basketball coach and there's a new way of doing things. Sometimes you don't see those problems until you get into conference play with a lot of the teams that you play often, who know you and can exploit some of the weaknesses that you have. I honestly cannot tell you why they're stumbling like this, because it's not like it's a little bit of a stumble. Like they're getting beaten pretty handily in some of these games. That should not be happening. And I think that is just even more good news for the Sun Devils.
ASU is 6-1 in conference play, that one being Arizona. Arizona is 4-3. Overall, they both have the exact same record. So it'll be really interesting to see where Arizona drops in the rankings, or are they still currently in 5th? Because if ASU beats UCLA on Thursday, UCLA is number 7. If they beat UCLA, well, they need to get re-ranked, right? Well, they need to pop back up in the rankings, don't they?
I thought U of A was ranked. Were they number 9 the last time I checked?
I'm looking at my sheet right here. It says 5, so maybe they've gone up inexplicably.
Because they do the top 25s on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So that's like a recent.
So they're number 5. UCLA is number 7. ASU unranked. But do we have a shot against UCLA? Can we beat the UCLA?
Yeah, I mean, UCLA is going to be tough. UCLA is ranked number 5 right now. according to the AP 25 website.
I'm getting all sorts of bad. They're ranked what?
UCLA is ranked 5.
Well, who's
Arizona fell to 11.
Okay, that must have gotten done since I printed this stuff out this morning.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, so Arizona 11. Okay, makes sense. UCLA 5, and that's who we got to beat on Thursday.
Yeah, that one's going to be tough.
Not likely.
I don't want to say not likely though, because ASU's been playing really good basketball. UCLA is just a tough team. They've got a lot of guys who have been there for 4 years, so that's going to be also something you've got to overcome. But I just like this ASU squad. So I'll give them a chance, but I would still lean at UCLA to actually win the game.
Hefty Lefty says 1 in the wink, 2 in the stink. No, I don't think that's how that's ever going to go. We have to take a break. When we come back, we've got other things, not football, to talk about. We want to talk about GCU. We want to talk about the Coyotes and the Suns and all that good stuff. And then it's going to be, you ever hear, are you a history buff? Have you ever heard of the Greek food orgies? That's what this is going to be, but with football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brian Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Tonight in the NBA, the LA Lakers taking on the Houston Rockets. Los Angeles, a 5.5-point favorite over the Rockets, who have lost 10 in a row. Lakers have lost 3 straight, minus 225 on the money line. Houston plus 188 with an over-under of 236. The Phoenix Suns taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis, a 10.5-point favorite, minus 520 on the money line. The Suns plus 400 over-under in that one at 229.5. NFL, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Dallas Cowboys to conclude wild card weekend. Dallas, a 2.5-point road favorite, minus 146. Buccaneers plus 124, 45.5 the over-under. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% when you use the promo code ACTION75. Experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you like burritos, which you do because everyone does, you should try Taco Bell's Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde grilled chicken burritos. These masterpieces start with a warm flour tortilla that we stuff with grilled chicken. But the real stars here are the bold sauces, Chipotle Ranch or Salsa Verde. In fact, the chicken is the stage upon which these sauces shine. Like this mic is a stage for me to spotlight my theatrical range. 2 chicken burritos, 2 bold flavors, $2 each. Order on the Taco Bell app. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation, which vary. Tax extra 1 class line.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for 0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
Remember last year when you wanted to hear that NFL matchup, but you couldn't because you were at your nephew's birthday party and the Fanatic couldn't stream the NFL on their app? Didn't that suck?
Well, those days are over, pal. Now you can listen live to every primetime NFL game on the Fanatic app. Download the app now at the Google Play Store or the App Store, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up tonight, 5:30 p.m., the broadcast for Cowboys and Buccaneers, rounding out your super duper wild card weekend. Over on Money Radio 1510, you got Pinnacle at Sandra Day O'Connor boys basketball. That happens at 7. All right, 888-368-1580. I'm going to really rely on our GCU expert, Mr. Keon Rose, to tell us how things going with the GCU. I feel like, they win a bunch, they lose one here and there. How's the season going for them? I know they just beat Pepperdine 83-73. It took overtime to do it. But in general, how are these GCU Lopes looking, Keon?
They're looking really good. Which is crazy just because of the injury to Javon Blackshear Jr. He's been in and out of the lineup. Every time he tries to rehab it and come back, he comes back and it's just tweaks something and he's back out again. And, that's a guy that's supposed to be one of the best players in the entire conference, in the Western Athletic Conference. The preseason player of the not player of the year, but the preseason player of the year. Yeah, he was voted to be that. So the idea that they could lose a guy that important and still find ways to win, find ways to grind out basketball games, I just think that that's absolutely promising for them. And also, this is, if you ask Bryce Drew, he said at the beginning of the season, and he's been holding to that, the toughest schedule that GCU's played so far. And it's paying off dividends because it's going to, when they get to the conference tournament, affect seeding because they're no longer doing it based purely on what your record is. They're going to look at the strength of the opponents that you've played. And even in the games that they've lost, they've played really tough opponents and kept those games close. And so that's going to factor into where they get seeded come tournament time. Had they used this system last year, GCU would have had a higher seed in the conference tournament, and it probably would have made a better run. So I think that for what they've done this year, asking a lot of the young guys to step up, Kobe Knox, Ray Harrison coming off the bench, and really giving them, something like 20 points a game since he's been playing. I really like that. And of course, I think Isaiah Carr has been really huge, playing in the post since Ivan Udrogo went down. They've dealt with a lot of injuries and they're still playing good basketball. So I think that's really good news for GCU.
All right, let's move on to the Phoenix Suns. Dear God, they've only had 2 wins out of the last 10 games, and why? What is? All right, is it? What?
They're injured. They're injured.
They're hurt.
Is that it? Just hurt?
They're hurt. It's Ayton in and out of the lineup. There's no Booker. There's no Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Johnson's obviously, hasn't played since the beginning of the season.
So the Suns need to change their name to Anthony Davis, Phoenix Anthony Davis.
I wouldn't say that. This is just a bad season as far as injury luck goes, and some teams have that. The Suns have largely managed to avoid that for as long as this team's core has been this group of guys. So just probability, you're just going to get stung with the injury bug sometimes, and that's exactly what's happened to them.
All right. So what is the sort of, bright light, end of tunnel, finish line, you getting people back and healthy? Are we looking at a couple of weeks, couple of months, or is this just the way this season's going to be?
Yeah, I think this is the way this season's going to be. You still have a few weeks until we're looking at the idea of Devin Booker coming back. I think that's maybe, 3 weeks away. And then I don't know what the deal is necessarily with Ayton. I think that he's dealing with some nagging injuries and he's trying to play through it. But the result is then, you re-injure stuff more often when you try to do that. But it's either that or he sits on the sideline and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't help or contribute. And then, of course, Chris Paul, we know Chris Paul's age at this point. And when you get injured at this stage in your career, it's just going to always be harder to bounce back and recover. But we're still not at the point where we're, at the All-Star break. We're not making that final postseason push. So I don't want to necessarily hit the panic button on that just yet, but it is getting to a point where you're going to need to see some people come back healthy and fast.
I don't think it's ever going to be a panic button the way things are going this season. It's going to be a button, Okay, I guess this is it. I guess this is what it is. Oh, well, whatever. It would be. We've had injuries in the past and weathered it. What happened to our depth? What happened to the bench that was always able to step up and maybe not win every game when somebody or a bunch of somebody's are injured, but at least be competitive? I feel like we've lost that.
I don't know if you've necessarily lost that, but parts of your bench have always been able to fill in. So you could always lose Chris Paul and then turn to Campaign. You could always, lose Devin Booker and turn to Landry Shamet. But when you have to have all of those guys play, they're playing against other starters in the NBA. They're bench guys for a reason. If they could start, they would be starting. Mm-hmm. So you're playing against other starters in the NBA, and you're playing an entire squad of bench guys some nights. That's not a recipe for success. That doesn't mean that those guys aren't good as depth players, but it does mean when you have to play all of them, you're asking a lot.
This is a tight Western Conference right now, and you have to keep your thinking on this. We're only 1 game behind the Clippers for the 6th spot in the Western Conference. We could go on a several game winning streak, and we could gain up, a lot of ground. By the way, the Warriors are just terrible this year. And the Suns are pretty good against their own conference. They're pretty good at home. It's just when they're on the road and they've been injured, they've been nicked up all season long. I think once they get some of these guys healthy and get them back in the lineup, you'll see this thing turn around.
I sure hope so, because football season is going to be over in a month, and I'd like to have something to watch where I don't go. Ugh.
Well,
I mean, I had to do that for the Colts all season. I don't want to do that with the Suns.
Well, again, it's a tight Western Conference. We're only a game out of the 6th spot right now, behind the Clippers. There's a bunch of us all bundled up there: the Trailblazers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, the Jazz, the Suns. We're all kind of in that 8.5 to 9.5 game spread. Out of first place, which the Nuggets are just running away with this thing right now. But the bottom line is there's no real problem here. The thing that I see is time is running out. There's only 38 games left in the season. 38 games, guys. Something's got to happen quick.
Am I reading this right? The Suns are going to play at 4:00. Is that happening? Is that real?
I believe they play tonight against the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Grizzlies. My thing here says 4 p.m. on TNT.
No, that's not correct. On Martin Luther King Day, the NBA usually just goes all day. So,
okay.
So yeah, you get day games.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's happening here in half an hour. Give us updates on that. Here, at least we have this to make ourselves feel a little bit better. The Lakers. Well, they've lost 3 in a row, and I know that. They've won more than the Suns have the last 10 games, but they were on their way to ruining my bet with Ralph. I bet Ralph that the Lakers would not win 6 games in a row the entire season. They won 5 in a row, and then thank God for the Denver Nuggets because that was close. And with any luck, it won't ever get that close again. But at least we have the Lakers sucking. How bad and how far back are they on the standings? They're still underneath us, right?
The Lakers are in 13th right now. They're 11 games out. So they're
how far are they from us?
Well, they're a game and a half behind us, and we're a full game behind the 6th spot in the standings.
When they make that up, Ralph is going to go back to insufferable again.
Well,
my losers beat your losers.
They have to make it up first.
Yeah. Let's hope for the best on that. 888-368-1580. Navy Brad says, hello, Fourth Dimension. Hello, Randy, Keon, Jeffrey. If you could, who would you like to see as the Cardinals' new head coach and GM? Well, we've just found out that a fella by the name of Awesome Fart is looking to be the new GM for the Cardinals.
Not his name.
So I don't know if this exercise does much for that, but if not Sean Payton, who do you want as a coach for these Cardinals?
I just hope it's not Vance Joseph. I hope we just I like what we're doing with as far as a GM. We're getting some new guy in here, a guy that's got some experience in the front office. He seems to have some good credentials. As far as head coach, I don't know. Not Vance Joseph though. Not Vance Joseph.
I mean,
Brian Flores.
Flores. They actually reached out to Brian Flores.
Yeah,
I like that idea. Just because we know Brian Flores can coach and we know that he commands respect. That's something that is immediately clear just looking at his teams. And there's a reason why, when he got fired by the Dolphins, he was picked up by Mike Tomlin. They're really close. They're good friends, and they're very similar.
Yeah,
in that way.
I think Brian Flores would be a great pick, but are we going to do that?
Well, they requested to interview him, so they're at least thinking about it. And maybe they do pull the trigger on that if they decide to go that direction, or maybe they decide to go the DeMeco Ryans direction. I know he doesn't have the experience, which is something that I'm shying away from right now. I think given what the Cardinals have gone through recently, let's not try and experiment with another guy and try and find out if he has the chops to be a head coach when there are guys out there who have the experience as a head coach already, and they just need a squad.
So we'll talk more about NFL coaches a little bit later. Right now, I'm going to ask this question. Are they going to fire the Coyotes head coach? They have 10 games in a row of a L.
No.
They haven't had a W since the Maple Leafs. So 10-game losing streak. Time to fire that coach?
No, that's
Will
not
you
what
wait
the
till the
Coyotes
20-game losing streak?
That's not what the Coyotes need to do. The Coyotes need stability. This is, again, a young team. Remember I said at the very beginning, the Coyotes are a young team. They're in a 9-game losing streak. We didn't expect them to win the Stanley Cup this year. This is not a time to fold up on this team. Just let this team continue to develop. Let this team continue to do what they're doing. and let this team continue to grow together as a team. This is not the time to fire the head coach.
And the other thing is, just because of the situation of playing in the ASU Stadium, you're playing a lot of road games. You're playing a lot of these. Their schedule is the weirdest schedule I think I've ever seen in the NHL. That's just going to affect how you play on a night-to-night basis.
All right. I've just, I've been out for a bit, and when I see a 10-game losing streak,
doesn't feel good.
Yeah, you got to start thinking about that. Let's get back to the text line. Now, Lost Toby says, "You guys are on holiday? What? You're on during a holiday? What's going on? I don't know. We're just on. I don't know. What? Are you complaining? You don't try to figure us out." Kiss the Cook says, "Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday to you, Kiss the Cook. Thinking about having a shirt made with the caption, 'Please ask to hold it.'" What's that about? Is that something to do with something? I don't know what it is, because I don't know what it is. I'm not going to ever ask to hold it, Kiss the Cook. I don't, if that's what you're,
you're going to have to explain that, Kiss the Cook. I don't know that either, honestly.
Silly Wabbit says, "Keon, I didn't know Ivan Drago started playing college basketball since his defeat in Rocky."
Yeah, that's his backup plan
I break you
in life. No,
says that's all the rims. I must break you.
Well, actually, I mean, if you've ever seen the man, he actually looks like he could do that. No, his name is not Ivan Drago. It's Ivan Udrago. So there's there's
a U. So it's Ivan U Drago.
Yeah, it's an OUDRAGO. Yeah, it's French. Don't ask me. I don't know.
But that doesn't sound French at all.
Listen, okay. The name is French. That is where he is from. That I don't make the rules. Okay. I just tell you that's what his name is. That's what it says.
Ivan.
Yes.
Oh yes. As a well-known French name.
Well, it's spelled with a Y.
Yvonne.
So.
Yvonne. In French, it'd be Yvonne, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is there something we need to know about this person?
Yvonne Udrago. Yeah. No, he seems like a really nice guy just from the interviews I hear with him.
All right. Take your word for it. Halfy Lefty says Cardinals should go after Staley. He should be available soon. They're not firing Staley. Boomer Sooner says, "Good rainy day, gents." Oh my, the Chargers. Ouch. I heard Peyton interviewed. He was talking about football lingo there like I've never heard of. This guy is a total football guru. Wait, what? Were you in the interview? What are you talking about? Did Peyton already interview with the Cardinals? Did that already happen?
They requested it. I don't think that
I didn't see where they actually met and interviewed, but he was holding interviews in Los Angeles.
Jagdog says Sean Payton did an interview this morning on ESPN naming the teams that he was going to go visit for interviews. Arizona, not on that list.
Because I think he was meeting with Arizona in Los Angeles.
Okay. Navy Brad says, "Hey guys, just an FYI, I've started a new job with the BA in training for the next few months, so my texting will be limited. Once I'm trained, I can help my fellow peeps." Well, very good, Navy Brad. You don't ever have to explain anything. We're not a job you have to clock in or clock out for, or get a note of an excuse. We're here for you. You're not here for us. We're here for you. So when you come and you can text and you're around, that's great. If not, that's cool. We'll be here when you get back. Well, unless we get fired. 888-368-1580. So Randy and I'll be here. What? You might be here too. I don't know.
Thought I did enough. I don't know.
You might be here.
Been working pretty hard.
So the Suns are playing the Grizzlies here in just a little bit. The Coyotes got the Red Wings tomorrow. Ouch. Utah Tech is visiting GCU on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we got the UCLA with the ASU. So, all right, listen, let's not avoid this any longer, shall we? Let's talk about all that damn football that happened over the weekend. How'd you guys do in your picks so far? I mean, did you guys? I got the Minnesota one wrong. I picked the Minnesota Vikings thing. I didn't want to. I was like, you know what? You remember me? I'm the guy who said two teams are very much alike in their fraudulent nature: the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. But as I sat there getting ready to do the picks, I was like, you know what? If they're going to be a fraud, I don't think they're going to be a fraud in this game. They'll be a fraud in a later game. And I kind of still feel that way about the Cowboys. But now I'm starting to rethink the Cowboys tonight against the Buccaneers. And I don't know if you know, Tommy's got his center back, whatever the hell his name is. I already forgot his name. But he's got his favorite, Ryan somebody, or he's got his center back. So I don't know if that affects what you were thinking. I don't know what you guys have even picked. So I have picked the Cowboys because I think they'll be a fraud later. But now, who'd you guys pick for tonight?
Well, tonight I took Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. Tom Brady is 7-0 against Dallas. They're at home.
With better teams.
I think I don't think they're the better team. I think that they are going to win this game because I don't think Dallas is going to be able to get out of their own way. Dallas, Dak Prescott is a fraud. I've been calling it all year. I've been calling it for 2 years. He's a fraud.
He's a nice fraud.
He's a nice fraud.
Here's the problem. Tom Brady is not on the kind of team he needs to be on that keeps beating the Cowboys. And that's where I'm nervous. Well, possible? Yeah. Tom Brady can go 8 bleep on you in a third or fourth quarter as he does. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, I can't remember. But I don't know if he's got enough for this Cowboys team, man. They're a fraud at a different level.
Well, the Cowboy defense has not been effective lately. They're playing on grass in Tampa Bay. It's warm. They're coming off a real stinker of a game. I mean, come on. They should have destroyed that team last week. And it was just that was a disgusting display. How do they get over that stuff? You kidding me? I got Tampa Bay easy in this one.
I got Tampa as well. And it's the turnovers for Dak. It's the fumbles. It's the interceptions. It's 7 straight games with at least 1 interception for him. You can't win football games that way. And you definitely can't win football games like that in the playoffs. And that's before we even get to the part where Mike McCarthy is notoriously bad at managing the clock in the playoffs. I mean, he cost Green Bay at least 1 NFC title game by himself, just not managing the clock correctly.
I like how when I first called him 2 sandwich eating Mike McCarthy, Randy, you have taken the ball and run with it. And now he's 3 sandwich eating Mike McCarthy. The question I have is, where is he holding the 3rd sandwich in your head?
Oh, he's got 3 of them in.
Because he's got his
pocket.
He's got his hoodie on and that little pouch that he's got in front of him. That's where the 3rd sandwich is hiding out. Yeah.
That makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will talk about all the games that happened Saturday, Sunday, in the super duper wild card weekend. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, we'll use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved. And the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
I know I need money for retirement, but what should I invest in? I also need money for the kids' college fund, and I'm not sure I have enough insurance. How do I balance all of this? I need a stockbroker, a financial planner, and an insurance agent? Ugh.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. Here at Compact, we provide a holistic approach to wealth management. with a team of professionals ready to assist you with all of your investment and financial planning needs. We offer our clients a 3-stage process that includes customizing a portfolio to fit your specific investment needs, creating a financial plan designed to help you reach your goals, and estate planning ideas to help ensure that your hard-earned legacy is passed down the way you intended. Call me at 1-800-388-9700 and let's talk about how we can work together to enhance your overall life experience. 1-800-388-9700, 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
A sapiosexual is a person who's attracted to intelligence. Do you choose brains over beauty? Like mind over muscle? Prefer Shakespeare?
To be or not to be?
To a puppeteer?
Hey, which one's the dummy?
So if you are sapiosexual and your current conversation is about to get, shall we say, intellectually stimulating, reach for Shakespeare Vodka, a thoughtfully engineered spirit with pure, smooth flavor that tastes like poetry in a bottle. Shakespeare Vodka, the taste of intelligence.
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Dennis Wender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and Lost Toby says, I'm perfect in my picks this weekend. I got Tampa for the sweep. Playing with house money, though. I'm up $200 from the weekend. Good for you, man. You know, I did. I just went and changed my pick to Tampa Bay because my first instinct is what I've got, I've been busy lately. So I didn't really think about it as hard. And I don't know if I still would have even, I can't second guess picking the Vikings to beat the Giants. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. I think a few people maybe saw that coming. I guess I didn't watch enough Giants to see that coming.
I watched plenty of Giants and I didn't see it coming. I
really don't feel so bad now.
Yeah, I just didn't think that the Giants had the kind of offense that would test the Vikings secondary. And as it turns out, they didn't have to. They just ran right through them.
Well, I like to do these games in order, so stop it. Stop talking about the Giants. We'll talk about them in a second. So you can repeat everything you just said, or just take a clip of that recorded and just hit play on that. Because I got to do this in order. My OCD, I can't do that. The OCD, too much.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
T says, fire Brandon Staley. Again, I'm going to ask you just to hold on. Just hold on. King of Kitten says Michigan has announced that Harbaugh is staying. I thought we had mentioned that quite a while ago. He didn't re-up and even say I'm staying. Even a comment was made. Those who stay will be champions. Wasn't that him, or is that somebody else? Wasn't that him? Wasn't that Harbaugh says those who stay will be champions?
I don't know if I heard that.
I believe
quote.
that was Bo Schembechler, but maybe he was quoting the great Bo Schembechler.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it Michigan announced Harbaugh's staying with all the violations and stuff? They're not ditching him. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Well, whatever the case, we're not talking about that right now, King of Kittens. We're talking about the 49ers whooping up on the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons. How you like those apples? 25-6 in the second half. Held on to win 41-23. It was at first it looked a little bit shaky. Yeah, let's be honest. Brock Purdy, you had a few moments where you're like, "Ooh, is this stage too big? Are these lights too bright?" And he settled down, and boy, he just continues to impress. So he has won 6 games in a row since he became the starting quarterback. And the 49ers look really hard to beat right now. And Geno Smith, I know they're talking to him about next season. They might throw the franchise tag on him. He has more than earned his place as a starting quarterback in the NFL. He could use the same thing Brock Purdy got, and that's better pieces around him. I mean, yes, I know he's got DK Metcalf, he's got Tyler Lockett, but I'm talking about the team in general. And it'll be interesting to see what the Seahawks end up with in a draft next year. But right now they are out of the playoffs. And Brock Purdy just out of nowhere looks like a guy who's been playing for 3 or 4 years.
That was the thing that I noticed. And I saw it in the preseason, and you just don't want to read too much into it.
Yeah, because it's the preseason, right?
But there's certain things you can look for, right? Like there are guys in the preseason, they make all the big throws and all of that stuff. And that's not what was impressing me about Brock. It was that he had receivers that he was supposed to go through. And you can see the little, stripe on the back of the helmet to see where a guy's head is turned. he's going through the reads. Like that's
Yep.
not a rookie. That he's playing like he's a seasoned vet because I don't know. Maybe he's just got that polish to him. I have no idea what it is, but I didn't necessarily see this coming, but I did see that little piece of his game where he's not it's not just athleticism with him. It's actually he's got the processing capacity to read these defenses.
Are you ready to have your mind blown?
Yes.
Sure.
So I'm sitting there with the wife. That's not the part that blows your mind. I'm sitting there with the wife and I'm looking at Brock Purdy and there's certain facial expressions. And I started saying, you know what? You know who he reminds me of? Facial expressions. Some of these facial expressions. Joe Montana. Joe Montana. He has a lot of Joe Montana when he's got the helmet on. When he's got the helmet off, he looks like a pimple popping high school kid working at the Dairy Queen. But when he's got the helmet on, some of those looks is on his face. When he's on the field and playing and he's kind of looking, he's doing a thing and I see Joe Montana right there. Now, Joe Montana never looked like a young kid. He always looked like a wise old man coming down off the mountain to gift you with some really great football.
Did he?
But some of the same facial expressions that we used to see Joe Montana make, I swear to God, now that I've said that, when you watch Brock Purdy, tell me if I'm wrong, because I think you're going to see it.
See, I was talking with Ralph and Keon on Thursday, and I was thinking, look, Brock Purdy is pretty composed for a kid in such a big situation here. Not the biggest situation he's ever been in. Could be moving on. Clearly, this weekend's going to be bigger for him. But I thought if anybody could rattle this kid, it would be a gum chewing Pete and the Sea Chickens, because I mean, what does Pete Carroll know to do? He's a defensive minded coach, and you would have thought he was going to throw in some curls at this kid that he's never seen before. The kid, I got to admit, he handled it with composure. They made some adjustments at halftime. He did what he was supposed to do. As long as he goes out there and does his job, stays within himself and stays within the system, I think he's going to be fine.
Brock Purdy goes out there and is making checks at the line. What 7th round rookie do you know that does anything like that? And we know it doesn't happen because Miami also started a 7th round rookie, and Skylar Thompson actually did a whole lot better than I thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
But he looked like a rookie.
Sure.
Brock doesn't look like a rookie.
A lot of people are giving a little more credit to the time Purdy spent in school. He played more years at the college level than some of these other guys. And then some of them say, well, maybe that helps give him that stability. But I don't know, man. Whatever it was, it worked, because this kid does look like a 3 or 4 year quarterback, and he's unflappable. I mean, he got a little bit flapped, but generally unflappable. He just has composure. It's crazy for that young.
There might be something to the years in college, because a lot of guys, as soon as they're eligible, they jump to go to the league. And I can understand why. If your stock is high, you take the money. You can always go back to school, but take the money and try and figure this thing out. But for a guy like him, it's not the same situation, because Joe Burrow was a 1st rounder, but Joe Burrow played in school a long time. And there's just a calmness to, there's not a whole lot you haven't seen. Even when you were in college, you were getting to the point where the coaches were really trusting you to handle the mental load of the offense and to really be a leader in the locker room. You're not just one of the players anymore. The coaches are trusting you with responsibility that is a little taste of what you're going to get in the NFL. So when you get there, you're not shocked by the idea that I have to get into a huddle and tell 10 grown men, this is what we're doing, and have them follow you. It's not that shocking when you have that kind of experience and that foundation underneath you.
Lost Toby says, that wasn't Brock Purdy. That was Shanahan calling all those cute plays. He tried to outsmart himself in the first half. Once they started running the ball more, the game changed. All right. Fair enough. I mean, there was a distinct shift where things started to smooth out for Brock Purdy, but you do got to give Purdy credit, though, where credit is due. That is one composed kid. And what a great story, though. The historian says, yep, those 49ers are looking pretty good. Stop it. We're done with those jokes.
I'm actually tired of hearing that specific joke.
I don't mind hearing that from the texter. Weekend. I don't mind hearing from the texter when I hear seasoned broadcasters continuing to say it, a month and a half later. Come on.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner goes a different direction. He goes, Purdy, damn it. All right.
Well, Boomer
so-
Sooner knows as well as I do. When Brock Purdy was playing in the Big 12, he was at Iowa State. And I don't know if Boomer Sooner has all of the bad memories that I have. When Texas went to go play Iowa State, I was horrified because I knew he was going to kick our ass again. Every single year, every year. It was just like, and the first year that they lost to him, it was like, okay, you know what? They got a little lucky. When you keep going back and it's the same Brock Purdy every time, just whooping you. Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Brock Purdy. I really was shocked that he was Mr. Irrelevant. I thought he would go higher than that.
But fair enough, he did get dropped into a stellar team just at quarterback. Yes, Shanahan with some great play calling in the last two quarters, and you had Christian McCaffrey being Christian McCaffrey, 15 carries, 119 yards. He had Deebo Samuel out there doing everything and having a great day. He had 133 yards and a touchdown, 3 carries for 32 yards as well. I watched the game. This didn't register in my head. They had 505 yards offense. Wow. 7.9 yards of play. That 49ers offense, even though they struggled in the first half, they were cranking, which means if they'd kind of done that the entire game, it would have been even worse. It would be even higher. So but you got to give Seattle credit. Nobody thought they would even be in a playoff game this year. Nobody thought they would play even as well as they did against the 49ers. So it'll be interesting to see what they make of the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons for next season. So, but for now, it's all about the 49ers. And by the way, you mentioned Skylar Thompson. Yeah, the lowest drafted rookie quarterbacks to ever start playoff games. Brock Purdy, Skylar Thompson. It is like the year of the backup quarterback, isn't it? And the rookie backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, it is. And I think this is a testament to where, quarterbacking goes. Like quarterbacking, when we talk about kids coming up from middle school, high school, they start to play these like 7-on-7s from a pretty early age. So they're starting to get that knowledge of what it takes to be a quarterback, from a mental aspect pretty early. So they're not necessarily rattled in the same way that I think like the last generation of quarterbacks were when they were, thrown into the fire.
Lost Toby says, I was giving him the credit. I was just saying Purdy looked shaken up and unraveled. It was more on Shanahan. It was his fault more than it was Purdy. Oh, okay. I got you. CK says, great point, Keon. A 7th round last pick in the draft checks at the line and goes through all the progressions. A certain number 1 pick in Arizona. Well, he can't do either. Go Niners.
Well, the checks at the line thing, that's up to the head coach. Does he let you do that? But the going through the progressions, yeah, I wish that happened more.
We're not going to get Brock Purdy on the Colts, are we?
No. No.
I do want to bring up the fact that did you hear the scuttlebutt last week? I'm sure you did. The Colts might trade up to take the number 1 pick from the Bears.
Yeah, it's
seems unnecessary.
It does seem unnecessary. I thought it was unnecessary that Chris Ballard was just basically broadcasting his desperation by saying he would do whatever it took to get up to the first pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you think that there's a guy you like, if you have a specific person in mind, then it's not just, well, all 3 are comparable. If you think one of those guys is much better than the other 2, you kind of have to do it.
So you have to go up there and try to get that first pick because somebody else might go up and get that first pick. And now you're hosed because right now, if nothing changes ever in the draft order, I'm pretty sure we can get a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But if you, I don't know who they have in mind. Some people think it's Levis. People think it's Bryce Young. Some people think it's CJ Stroud. We've had conversations about who's the best you can get, but if we have the number 1 pick, if we trade up for that, who's the best quarterback we should get? Who's the guy?
You should just take Bryce Young and not even think about it.
There you go.
Yeah, he's the best quarterback of the draft.
He's a little short, but not Kyler Murray short. So then maybe that's what needs to happen. And then in that case, I hope it does because I can't keep going like this. You know that feeling. Keon, you know that feeling, Randy.
For my entire life.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Can't keep going this way. Fighting Wampa says, you guys aren't even mentioning Brock's best pass. The one that BA dropped in the back corner of the end zone was a dime.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not a system quarterback throw, if you ask me.
No, I mean, like system in that it helps you as a rookie to have a nice one. But no, Brock Purdy's legit.
All right, guys, that's 1 hour down and another hour and a half to go before the football. It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears radio show, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. I am here today to make the statement that just because we're in a bear market does not mean that you have to be losing money. Just like Michael Burry and Warren Buffett, bear markets should be where real generational wealth is created. But most will follow the same broken strategy that lost them in the last bear market. We are inviting you to come to an intensive 3-day trading and investing class where we will show you the trading and investing strategies of the market wizards. This class is typically $299, but right now, for 66% off, you can join us in this class. Just call 8448-TRADER. That's 8448-87-2337 and tell the operator you want the $99 3-day class, or text $99 to 25029. That's $99 to 25029.
As a kids, we all loved hopping on our bikes and hitting the road.
I'll be back for dinner. See ya.
Well, bikes just got reinvented for us big kids. If you haven't tried an electric bike, you have no idea what you're missing. Hit the road, the trails, or the beach by pedaling or not pedaling.
It's like being a kid all over again. Start with the best. Hemingway e-bikes are the best fat tire electric bikes sold. Since 2017, Hemingway is known for durability, price, safety, and fun. Hemingway is the long-range e-bike experts, taking you faster and farther on a single charge. Hemingway sells direct to the consumer, ships right to your home, and has over 2,000 5-star reviews. Choose from 7 models, all with an unprecedented 2-year warranty. Find out why over 50,000 customers call Hemingway the best e-bike there is. Go to HemingwayEbike.com. That's HIMIWAY ebike.com. Now save up to $250 with promo code FANATIC. Go to HemingwayEbike.com.
In many countries around the world, medical care is scarce. Countless millions have no access to safe surgery. Mercy Ships is there to help. Mercy Ships provides free surgeries for the thousands of those who are waiting for surgery at each port.
Mercy Ships is bringing services to countries that would otherwise never be able to access those services.
Find out how you can help by visiting our website at mercyships.org. That's mercyships.org.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale, 1.5 hours away from the broadcast. Cowboys at Buccaneers, rounding out the super-duper wild card weekend. And, okay, so Dak Prescott and the Cowboys got a lot of wins. We've kind of felt like they're a fraud in there. Seen them struggle when they shouldn't be struggling. Seen them lose when they shouldn't lose. Sound a lot like the Vikings? Yeah. And but let's see what happens tonight. It's not like Tom Brady and the Buccaneers have been on fire. So I don't know. I don't know. You guys talked me into changing my pick off the Cowboys to the Buccaneers. I won't be mad, especially because that just means we all got the pick wrong. So it doesn't really hurt me in our little standings of our picks contest and stuff between us. But yeah, I want to believe. I want to believe that here comes Tom Brady. Here he comes again. And he's going to get himself into deeper in the playoffs. Wouldn't that be something, But then I hear these stories Oh, well, he might come over to the 49ers. He's not coming to the 49ers. Who wants to keep starting that stupid rumor? He's not coming to the 49ers. Oh, well, he might end up over there with the Raiders. Oh, he might maybe he ends up with Sean Payton on the Broncos or something. I don't know. There's a lot of people with all sorts of ideas about where Tom Brady might go next.
And no actual evidence for it. It's just
I don't know what that has to do with the here and the now. Tom Brady is a football player. He's a 7-time Super Bowl, 8-time Super Bowl champion. The guy knows how to get there. He knows how to get through the playoffs. He knows how to deal with adversity. He knows how to deal with injuries. And I think tonight, being at home in Tampa Bay, at his age, what are you going to do to mess with Tom Brady's mind? There's nothing you can do. He's seen it all. He's been there. He's done that. He's bought the T-shirt, and he's won it 8 times. So that's why I'm going with Tom Brady. I mean, that and the fact that what happened to the Dallas defense? What has happened to the defense that was so vaunted early on this season? They just like they disappeared. They're playing in an open atmosphere. Dak Prescott leads the league in interceptions. He hasn't even played the entire league or the entire season, and he still leads the league in interceptions. So those are things that are telling tales to me. I think Tom Brady sits back there and picks them apart all night.
I hope you're right. Fighting Wampa says, "Hey, O'Brien, it was super wild card weekend. Now next year or the year after that or whatever year they decide to add another team to each conference for the playoffs, then it'll be super duper wild card weekend." Well, I call it super duper wild card weekend now because I am a visionary, Fighting Wampa.
Yeah.
I see it coming.
That's true.
888-368-1580. Cardinal Art says Skylar Thompson kept Miami in that game, in my opinion. And imagine if he would have, if he'd have won it. Boy, that'd be another conversation, wouldn't it? Lost Toby says, do the Colts want Trey Lance? Nope. CK says, no Brock Purdy for the Colts, Jeffrey. Derek Carr is going to look good in the blue and the white. Nope.
No, Chris Ballard has made it abundantly clear. We're not getting another retread.
You can see that I've been right these years where Reich talks everybody into something and Ballard reluctantly went along with it. You know what I'm saying? His failure, he said, he came out in his press conference, I have failed this team. But he doesn't mean in quarterback because that was never him. There were things that happened. You can't blame Chris Ballard for the injuries to the O-line. You can't blame him for everything. Some of the personnel issues, yes. But quarterback, no. I think that he just had to eat a lot of bleep the entire time for what Frank Reich kept bringing in his retreads. I don't think that was ever really Chris Ballard. Ken Kenton says, here's a new texture nickname, the wet spot. Nope. I hate saying no to you guys. I've been saying no all these texts, but nope. Let's see. Navy Brad says Cardinals just hired a new GM. Yeah, we know that. We knew that they were getting ready to.
Yeah.
Did they make it official?
I believe they have. Yeah.
Oh, so the story is out there official. How was the text line for you guys last week? By the way, did it work?
It was fun.
Did it work consistently?
It was fun.
It's broken for me right now.
Oh,
and bleeping test.
I'm glad because I don't know if I don't have the ability to kind of work around that kind of thing. So it worked out for me last week when I did it Friday. So it wasn't bad.
Me. It worked perfectly. It's just doing this to me right now. Okay. Let's see. Navy Brad, we already knew about Awesome Fart. Yes, Monty Awesome Fart is going to be, if he isn't already, your new GM for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's see what Awesome Fart can do. Mr. Pink Eye says Brock Purdy is exposing the quarterback position. Teams don't need to spend all their money. Well, slow down a little bit, but I can kind of see what you're saying. Like the Niners spent money on the roster to get an average quarterback on a rookie deal. That's always the dream, isn't it? You put together a super team of great O-line, good receivers, and you put in even a mediocre quarterback could do well. But see, that's you want better than mediocre. You want Brock Purdy. Just turns out he is really good. It's not just, all the pieces around him are great. He is also really good. We have seen teams that you put a mediocre quarterback into and play, and they don't do so well. Case in point, and I hate to say this, Gardner Minshew. Those Eagles, have everything you need. And now, in defense of Gardner Minshew, when he's played those games for the Eagles, it's not really a team that's built for him in his style and his strengths. So I'm not down on Gardner Minshew, but maybe he wasn't the right guy to slide in there. But it also shows you, you can have all the right pieces and you still need a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, and I think beyond that, you need a guy that can make plays. Like the 49ers were playing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl that the Niners were in. And one team had the guy that could break the game, and the other team didn't have that guy. That's what teams are looking for. And I don't think Brock Purdy has exposed anything at all. If you look at the last 5 Super Bowls, most of the quarterbacks involved in those Super Bowls are high-level guys or guys we would consider to be high-level guys. So no, unless you have the 49ers now with this team that's fully built, but every team is not in that stage of development. Brock Purdy gets drafted by the Washington Commanders. You never hear about him because that organization's not as well run as the Niners are.
Mr. Pringle says, if the NFL would have expanded the playoffs to the top 24 teams, would the Cardinals and Colts have made the playoffs then?
No,
probably no. We're at the bottom.
You're drafting in the top 4, so
I don't know why you even asked that question, Pringle. Other than you just want to hear us say
mean.
it.
Yeah.
This is kind of mean for mean's sake.
Who's your team, Pringle?
Cardinal Art says, Jeffco, who's going to be your starting quarterback next season? I see that kid out of Ohio State. And Randy, may I please have a weather forecast report? It's getting a little cold out here on the west side.
There is a chance of rain still in the forecast from the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. Chief meteorologist Randy White coming at you live, 60 degrees currently under cloudy skies. And some thunder boomers still hesitating around the state. A chance of rain, light to moderate between now and 7 o'clock tonight. And then again, overnight, we could see some thunder showers. The next few days going to be beautiful. Low 50s, upper 50s, low 60s. Partly cloudy, chance of rain tomorrow. Sunshine and 58 on Wednesday. 61 and sunshine on Thursday. Currently 60 degrees under mostly cloudy skies and cool temperatures right now. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeffco.
Thank you, Randy. So the question about the quarterback, if the Colts do trade up or don't trade up, let's just talk about who the right quarterbacks are. Keon has said, you just go get Bryce Young. You just go get Bryce Young, and now you're done. And I kind of gotten my brain used to CJ Stroud as a possibility. And then the rumors are floating around that the Colts are wanting Levis. Like, dude, you don't even have to trade up to that spot to get Levis unless other people are going to go up there for other quarterbacks and the whole thing gets out of whack and then you end up with nobody. So I can see that, but this is all very confusing. Is it all just rumors or Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Levi Strauss? Levis? What's his first name?
Will Levis.
Will. So what's the deal here? What's the damn deal, Keon?
I mean, the deal right now is just that it's that part of the year where everyone is putting out misinformation. So it's hard to tell exactly what's true and what is not true about some of these rumors. But I just think that the Colts want to make sure that they're in a place where they get a guy that fits their system. They have a very run heavy offense. I don't know necessarily that they may want a CJ Stroud for what their system entails, which is, a guy that maybe understands a pro style offense a little bit faster. CJ Stroud playing under Ryan Day at Ohio State, as good as he was at Ohio State, in fact, great at Ohio State. That's not a pro style offense that they have over there. That's a spread offense, which means that's another hurdle that you have to get used to the pro game. Levis played in a more pro style offense. So did Bryce Young. So those are guys that don't have at least that hurdle to clear to try and get used to the NFL.
I wonder what we'll have to give up for that pick. You know what I'm saying? If we, the Colts, move up to get the number 1 pick off the Bears. So of course, our first round pick, but what else? What else do you think that they are going to want for that pick?
They may want your first next year and the
Good
year
parking
after
at
that.
Soldier Field.
Three number ones for Bryce Young. Is that fair?
I mean, to get to the number one overall pick, and if there are other people
would you do
bidding,
that? Would you do that?
I would, because I think that Bryce Young is the real deal. That guy,
He's Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, real deal.
Those guys I think are better prospects than him, but he just gets the game, and he has that level of mobility that I think modern NFL offenses crave. And watching him play at Alabama, he's different from the previous Alabama guys in that the receivers he was throwing to, they're not
as good as what Tua had,
not
or Mac Jones.
No, not even close. So he's been able to prove that he can win football games, that he can put up points, that he can find receivers, even when the receivers aren't the most elite guys, which is the thing that the Colts kind of struggle with. I think if Chris Ballard has a weakness like that, drafting receiver is his biggest weakness. Bryce Young's the guy that can go in there and make it work.
Mr. Wilbur says, why are we so worried about the Colts? Because I'm worried about them, Wilbur. Shut your mouth. Says, I'm worried about the Cardinals. Okay. Does Awesome Fart have any sort of idea whether or not he wants to hold on to our little itty bitty quarterback, or does he want to go more of a Tennessee Titan type of style of play? If Smash Mouth, go hit the other guy harder than he's hit you kind of type of football.
Well, he's a GM. He's not a head coach. And I think that when they hire the head coach, they'll make some decisions on what kind of play style does this coach bring in here, what kind of offensive style. And I don't think with Kyler Murray you're going to play smash mouth football. So
get used to the idea.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray will still be your quarterback as soon as he's no longer hurt. That's just probably a fact. I mean, what do you give the percentage chance, guys, that Kyler Murray is out of here with the new regime that's coming in?
Less than 1% that he would go anywhere with this new regime.
I'm with Randy.
Really? Both of you, less than 1%.
Michael Bidwell likes him, so that's one. The owner likes him, so that's you're already fighting uphill there. But also, because Kyler's put up.
He's not likable.
I don't know that that's necessarily true.
X amount of dollars.
We know he didn't like Cliff. I don't know that means that nobody likes Kyler. When I watch things around the league like that NFL 100 players list, like people seem to like Kyler. So I don't know that that's necessarily true that Kyler is an unlikable guy, but I
think he occasionally lets people beat him in Modern Warfare, and so they're like, I like that guy.
Maybe that's what it is, but the owner likes him, and the other issue is the injury and the contracts together. That is a bad combination. It's hard to move that. Now, if he's healthy and he shows some stuff, all right, well then maybe you might be able to get something for him. But right now, it's impossible to move him.
All right, well, enough of this. We got to get back to talking about the games that happened over the weekend, the super duper wild card weekend, and the Jaguars beating the Chargers. I did pick the Jaguars because I felt like the Chargers were a little bit clunky. There's something I can't quite put my finger on. And I know that, old Justin Herbert is, recovering from the injuries. And, that I just feel like something is off with the Chargers. I can't quite put my finger on, but I felt like Herbert did okay. But if you watch the first half, you did not see that second half coming. I know I picked the Jaguars to win, but I can't believe they won 31-30 over the Chargers. And that was a hell of a game. All the games were kind of like that, except for the first one. All the games were very close, very good games. It felt like every single game was good for the most part. A couple of quarters here or there, maybe you're like, meh. And then you're like, whoa, crap, look at this. Trevor Lawrence throws 4 interceptions, and then he turns around, comes back, and just puts together a masterpiece. What the hell's going on there?
That's Trevor Lawrence. That's the Trevor Lawrence experience in the NFL so far, is that it's a roller coaster, but he's getting better. We can see that. There were times under Urban Meyer, the 4 interceptions means the game is over. And that's just not true under Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson has proven himself again.
Yeah. He's a quarterback guru. If you give him a good QB, he'll go out there and win a football game. And I think that deserves some credit too. I also just think that you got to look at what the Chargers defensively just fell apart. I mean, they could not stop the Jags at all in the second half. And there's no explanation for that other than got to start looking at the coach. I'm not saying fire him because I've heard that a lot and I don't necessarily agree. But there's a discussion to be had there.
Well, this also is, you got to take another step back and look at the mismatch. And what I mean is those 4 interceptions, that's on the Jaguars. That's not because the Chargers were amazing on defense. Those interceptions were on the Jaguars, whether it was Hairboy or a receiver bobble. And so you have to maybe take a step back and say, this defense might not have been up to the task to begin with. And that, I don't know if you really do put that on the coach as much.
Well, he is a defensive coach.
Yeah.
No, I got you on that. But Bosa made some dumbass things. He got some penalties. And, I get you. I don't think they should fire this coach. I think that would be a huge mistake. But I also think it's a huge mistake to put this loss squarely on his shoulders. Everybody contributed to the demise of this, but I wonder if this defense was just never up to this task and old Hairboy made his mistakes, shrugged it off, and got his self together and then won the game like he was going to the entire time.
I got to tell you, I think this Jacksonville team will do anything for Doug Peterson. I think they have bought into his system. I think he has motivated them to play beyond their means. I think he has got them out of the muck and the mire of the Urban Meyer, administration, and he's got this team to play well. He's got this team to play well and believe in his scheme. And early on this season, this team was horrible again. Remember, they were like 1-4, 1-5, or something like that. And something turned around all of a sudden, and they started winning games and started producing for Doug Peterson.
It was time with Doug Peterson, I think.
Well, and I think he has gone in there and he's got this team to buy into the Doug Peterson way, and it's working. And by the way, I have no reason to believe that Hairboy is not going to win a Super Bowl at some point in time in the NFL. He's that good. He is just so young right now. He makes really bad errors. Once he gets on top of that, another season or so, watch out. This kid is going to be a superstar.
Now, the funny thing is, so I watched this game, and then I don't know if it was the next game or the game after. Did you guys catch that? They're showing some stuff on the screen, and the one guy's like, and his eyes match his uniform. That's amazing. I'm like, what
the hell's going on here?
I don't. I can't. One of the play-by-play guys was saying that, and they showed the whole thing there, and he's like, Trevor Lawrence, his eyes are the same color as that uniform. Like, well, pump the brakes here, buddy.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information.
They use the soft focus lens.
I ain't asking. He ain't telling. It's none of my damn business. Power to you.
I will say this about Brandon Staley and about what blame I do put on him. Not necessarily in the game, but Brandon Staley is the guy that did not play any of his starters during preseason. Just didn't play them. I got to stay healthy for the season. Then last week in a meaningless game for the Chargers, he plays the starters. Mike Williams goes down, and their inability to be able to take the top off of the back of the Jacksonville defense, that does fall on him. You could have had your starters. The same logic should apply, and it didn't, and it wouldn't have affected your playoff positioning at all. Why did you play them? That I do think is something that's very damning, and he's going to have to answer for.
Yeah, he should not be fired. I don't know. Maybe he should. A lot of people think he can't. Teal is saying, fire Brandon Staley. Are you a Chargers fan? Are you a Chargers fan that does want this guy? And then if not Brandon Staley, who are you going to get that's going to be better than him? I feel like he's still a good coach. I just don't understand everybody's so quick to want to flush him. You got to the playoffs, man. Quiet Cannon says there's something wrong with the Chargers. Game plan, coaching, I don't know. They had a gift wrap victory in their lap. What is going on with them Chargers? Well, I know a lot of us are wondering the same thing. All right, so do you think it's coaching? Do you think it's just players? Do you think it's boneheaded things? It could be all of the above. But all right, so Keon, do you think they should fire Staley?
No, I don't think they should fire him. I do think that he's a smart guy, that he understands the game. I think the players do buy into what it is that he's preaching, which is tough. If you find a new coach, it's going to be ground one again for that. And I do think that there is more talent to be added to this roster. to help some things out, especially in the secondary, because for him, his style of defense, he's really not trying to blitz. He really doesn't like to bring extra pressure, and that means his secondary has to hold up.
Randy, do you think they should fire Staley?
No, not at all. I think Keon's right, and we're in a society now of instant gratification. I think they should give this guy at least 2 more years.
No, at least 1 more. Cardinal Art says Chargers could always hire Jeff Saturday. Shut up. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Tonight in the NBA, the LA Lakers taking on the Houston Rockets. Los Angeles, a 5.5-point favorite over the Rockets, who have lost 10 in a row. Lakers have lost 3 straight, minus 225 on the money line. Houston plus 188 with an over-under of 236. The Phoenix Suns taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis, a 10.5-point favorite, minus 520 on the money line. The Suns plus 400 over-under in that one at 229.5. NFL, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Dallas Cowboys to conclude wild card weekend. Dallas, a 2.5-point road favorite, minus 146. Buccaneers plus 124, 45.5, the over-under. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% when you use the promo code ACTION75. Experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just months, already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
It's time once again for the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. First prize is $1,580 from Harman Solar. Second prize, a Zebra e-bike from Hemingway. And $500 third prize from Harman Solar. Sign up today. Go to 1580thefanatic.com. The Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. From your home for the NFL in the Valley. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We got more than just NFL football going on around here, we got college basketball as well. Wednesday, Utah Tech is visiting GCU at 6:45 p.m. On Thursday, Indiana is at Illinois at 6:15 p.m. Then the other Utah visits GCU, Utah Valley. That is on Saturday at 5:45 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. So the Jaguars win after trailing 27-0. That is the NFL's 5th biggest comeback. And all right, what do you do after you have that kind of comeback? Some people light a cigar. Some people, go out clubbing. Trevor Lawrence, he hit the Waffle House. That's right. Him and his wife, Marissa, went directly to the Waffle House after the Jaguars' comeback win.
Well, I mean, you got to go carb up.
I guess.
You got to carb up after. You got to carbo load.
All that grease must be great to keep his coat, nice and shiny.
Oh, yeah. Keeps the hair shiny.
His hair, yeah. I guess.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, you know what? No matter how rich or poor I've ever been in my life, Waffle House has never been the first thought in my mind.
But that's because you're not from Tennessee.
I did a few overnight shifts where the first thing I wanted to hit was the Waffle House.
I mean, all right, way, way better than the Cracker Barrel, right? It's got to be. It's got to be way better food. And Waffle House, better or worse than Denny's?
Oh, no. I think it's like Denny's, Waffle House, Cracker Barrel, right there. Cracker Barrel, Waffle House, real similar.
I see. You want to make a comparison? All right, so Denny's would be Walmart, IHOP is Target. You know, does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Waffle House and Cracker Barrel, that's like Dollar General. And yes.
Family Dollar.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the two. That's the comparison there. Well, okay. But, listen, I guess if you're from the South, that's where you go for some good vittles.
People from Tennessee love Waffle Houses more than anybody should love Waffle House. It's I don't know why. It just is. You just do it. And you kind of get used to it. It's good, bad food, and you just roll with it.
So the Jaguars are continuing on in the playoffs. They will be soundly defeated by the Chiefs. I'll guarantee you that right now. But listen, you don't always get the good games. And Al Michaels, people have been giving him a hard time. I thought it was great to see him on the NBC. I think he was just a little bit invigorated that he actually got to be on actual television and not on Amazon. And Tony Dungy, he did fairly good. Tony's not Tony Dungy's not a color commentary guy. He's more of a studio analyst kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's sleepy. He's very smart, thoughtful. Man.
He's sleepy and he needs time for a nap during the game.
No, what happens is those ears of his, they capture sunlight, and then that helps give him energy. But if he's got the headphones on all the time, he can't charge up.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. He's like a chargeable. Anyway, so Al Michaels got wind that everybody was giving him crap, saying that, he's just too casual. He's just kind of smooth, just kind of like, hey, what's going on, guys? Al Michaels here. All right, here's the game. And he actually went another direction. He says, it's getting kind of tiresome, all these guys who just take a game and just start screaming like it's a big deal. Some guys, when they do the commentary on the games, Kevin Harlan talks about a thing, but it's not, I don't think it's annoying when he does it. He's not doing what Al Michaels is talking about. He says it almost sounds like it's an offshoot of talk radio, he says. He says, it's over the top. People are getting so excited. I kind of caught Tirico doing a little bit of that. And I guess, they all do some of that here. But Al Michaels, he's slow jazz. He's smooth jazz. That's what he is right now. I don't think he was always this.
No.
But so he's taking some heat, saying, okay, it's time to send him off the pasture. And I'll be honest, watching Sunday Night Football the last couple of years with him, I have fallen asleep on more football games in that broadcast.
Well, it's a long day.
But it's also, if you watch the same game, like if you could get the local commentary and not his commentary, maybe it's a more interesting game than I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? He does sort of slow the delivery down. But yeah, he's saying, you say what you want about this, but I just don't like the people who do it. He calls all his critics saying stuff. It's just a bunch of internet compost. And, he says that I'm not here for YouTube hits. All right. So you guys, I felt like he had a little more energy. He had a little more energy last night, didn't he?
I think so
night
too.
He did this.
And it's not even for me. It's not. I don't even know if it's the Thursday Night Football so much as it's the stinkers on the Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, he says I don't want to be a used car salesman. I feel like I'm being a used car salesman if I try to, make that all look good when obviously it's bad. I know it's bad. Yeah,
I think he referenced the Colts Broncos game where he was like, there was no touchdown scored. How am I supposed to get excited about this?
Wow, you just daggered Jeffrey right in the heart.
Al Michaels
was the
Al was the one that Al was the one that mentioned it. That was his example. Keon. It was Al's example. He's the one that was just like, there's no touchdown scored in that game. And that it's true, and it's not the only game like that. This poor guy also had to do the very next week Washington and Chicago. It's not like we had games that were great on Thursday Night Football this year. They just were all bad.
So I feel like he probably could use maybe a more dynamic co-anchor than Herpy Street.
Hey, I know what. Let's put him with Chris Collinsworth.
That'll never work. I don't have the name. I don't know who it is.
I didn't mind him in Herb Street, but the games were just not good.
Herbie's kind of sleepy.
I didn't find that to be the case.
The reason Herbie and Fowler work is because Fowler is Fowler and Herbie is sleepy.
Well, maybe they should go get Fowler instead of Herpy.
Well, then what would Al Michaels do? I mean, Fowler is the play-by-play guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Al Michaels. He needs a youngster in there. He needs a Bob Uecker in there. He needs somebody with some pizzazz.
Bob Uecker is like 98 years old.
I know. I realize that, but you see what I'm talking about. He needs some sort of character in there.
Yeah, you need somebody with a little more personality. You know what it is. How do you work that many years with John Madden? And he had the same speed with John Madden. John Madden just was one. So that's what the focus should be. And the guy sitting next to him has to do a better job.
Yeah.
Al Michaels is consistent as he can be, I think.
I like the Herb Street on the Thursday Night Football. He didn't seem sleepy to me.
Can I tell you something? Just talking about Al Michaels right now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting tired. I don't know. And how long does he really want to do this?
He's
got
what,
enough
72,
money.
73.
He's a lifer. He's just one of those guys that he can't stop. Wouldn't know how to, even if he could.
It's like, can't stop, won't stop. He's a big rap fan. 888-368-1580.
Al
Pinocchio.
Michaels a big rap fan?
Oh, yeah. He was over there chatting up old Eminem when he was back stage there.
That is true.
And he was just like, he was quoting
Did not
lyrics.
know that. Oh.
He was spitting something. I don't know what they say. Let's see. Pinocchio says 3 a.m. at Waffle House in Nashville. They asked me if I wanted my sliced pecan pie grilled. And then they threw a slab of butter on the flat top and chased it around with my pie. It was the best slice I ever had.
First off, that's the first rule of Waffle House is that they'll grill any damn thing you ask for. It's just.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by. Oh, do you know what I did? Speaking of grilling. Oh man, it was embarrassing. My wife was like, "Hey, let's have some chicken," and I was like, "Okay, let's have some chicken." And she said, "You mind grilling?" Hell yeah, I'll grill. And so I'm out there grilling these beautiful chicken thighs that she'd given me, and I'm out there 1 minute, everything's going great, flipping them over. I'm like, "Oh, it's not going to be too much longer." Next time, I'm standing there watching football. I'm at the door. I'm watching football, and I'm kind of tilting my head out, just making sure everything's okay. 1 minute I'm watching, everything's fine. Tilt my head out. An inferno. the entire grill caught fire.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh crap. She's like, what? I was like, I might have maybe needed to clean that grill. It was such a huge inferno of grill droppings that have you ever had the heat so high that the grill itself glows red from the heat?
Yes.
That's the kind of fire. And it was like that. I knew there were some drippings that were sort of getting a little bit flamed. So I was keeping an eye on it because I didn't want to ruin the chicken. But guess what? I ruined the chicken. It's in fact, it's still on the grill.
Only now it's just charred bits.
I was so disappointed. I poured the water on it, said, got it out. I'm like, well, I guess I'll have to clean this. And I closed the lid. I'm just like, I don't want to look at this anymore. Yeah, that's a grill failure on my part. It should have remembered every 6 months, every year, clean the grill. Yeah, you just shovel all that crap out of it because I make a lot of steak, a lot of hamburgers. It was just finally too much. Just caught fire.
It'll get you.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So how often do you say, Randy? 6 months or a year?
It depends on how much you cook. If you're cooking regularly, I'd say anywhere between 4 months to 6 months, you should be cleaning that grill out really good. And I mean, break it down, get the power washer in there, really get in there and clean it out.
Well, if nothing else, get the debris from the bottom.
Absolutely. Get the debris. Absolutely. Get your shop back in there and get that cleaned out.
I went from grill hero to sitting there eating a bowl of cereal with this look of disappointment from my wife sitting next to me. It was very bad.
At least she sat next to you.
Well, okay, from the living room.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So anyway, where were we? All right, talking football. Here we go. Boomer Sooner says, I watched the clock in the fourth quarter. Chargers needed to be better at the clock management. They were hiking the ball with like 10, 15 seconds in the clock. I saw one where they were still in the huddle, 5 seconds left in the play clock. Yeah, maybe that is some coaching right there then. You're not managing your clock very well.
That's the coach. That's like the coach's on-field job. That's you. It's all you is managing the timing of things.
It's like in the fourth quarter last night when the Bengals had the ball. They were hiking the ball with 12, 10, 8 seconds left on the clock. I mean, work that clock all the way down. If you've got the lead and it's late in the fourth quarter, don't get the ball back to them.
And this is one of those things you start to see a lot of the NFL turning to younger coaches. That's experience. That is experience all the way through. Zach Taylor's a younger coach. Brandon Staley's a younger coach. So they're learning on the job right now.
Blissful Hayes says, what time is the Colts playoff game tonight? Well, the same time as your date with a good-looking girl. Jackass. Damn. Historian says, Derek Carr to the Colts? Why? He's used to playing for teams in the state of flux. His experience enough to teach a rookie. No, thank you. You know what? No means no, man. No means no.
And Derek Carr doesn't want to teach a rookie. He wants to be the starter and know his job is safe.
It's like, all right, here's how you put on the eyeliner. I start here on the side, and I just kind of move it this way. Tihua says, yeah, fire Brandon Staley. I am a Chargers fan. Hire either Sean Payton or Brian Flores. They won't make the asinine big picture decisions that Staley makes daily. I guess if you're a Chargers fan, I guess that's the way you see it.
A lot of Chargers fans are mad and specifically mad at him.
No better than we do. Quiet Cannon says, give me the Waffle House. That cooker's right there. You got ice on him. He's not going to mess up. I think he means eyes. You got eyes on. You get to see them make your food is I think what he means.
I think, okay, that makes more sense.
Or you're throwing ice at him.
Could be.
You saw that video or that somebody chucked a chair at a Waffle House gal and she's kind of did like a complete Jackie Chan move on it.
You have to be built differently to work at a Waffle House. Especially the ones in Georgia. Oh Lord, that is some of the most dangerous places to be is a Georgia Waffle House, and those Waffle House employees will fight you. Don't start anything.
You got to be like a carny who doesn't want to travel. That's who ends up working there. Cardinal Art says, go get Noah Eagle, team him up with old Al. He's damn good, maybe better than his dad. Ian Eagle is he's got a son named Noah. That's true. Grill hero to grill zero. It was. And the look of disappointment, it hurt my soul. It did. Yeah, that cereal did not taste good that day. Lost Toby says Shanahan is actually the worst at clock management. And Al Michaels spitting bars and some of my favorite memories in Atlanta. Yeah, that's 4 a.m. at Waffle House right there. Let's see. Boomer Sooner says players should know the clock thing. Well, yeah, but you have to have a culture of everybody together, working together. Coach is talking in your ear. Now you know that gets cut off after, is it 15 seconds? I think it's 15.
I believe it is 15, yeah.
After nobody's talking in your ear, you got to know, you got to move quick. And they're giving you that play, not waiting 15 seconds. They're giving you a play like in the first 5 seconds or 10.
And the plays nowadays are crazy. It's like double eagle traps with a circle freedom Frito pie with a potato chaser.
No, of course. I mean, that's an instant touchdown as long as you can split the secondary.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Well, I get it. I don't know what your problem is. Slave Dave says, I think they should send Frank Caliendo in there with Al Michaels and have him play John Madden. Don't think Frank Caliendo is going to have the same sort of insight. And I feel like Al Michaels loved John Madden like a brother. But I also feel like Al Michaels would punch Frank Caliendo right in the meaty mouth.
Could be.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably because he loved John Madden like a brother. For exactly that reason.
Blissful Hayes says Colts should sign Kirk Cousins to be their quarterback of the future. Stop, Blissful Hayes. Just stop. Just stop right here. We got to take a break. We come back. Let's talk about Josh Allen's Bills beating the Dolphins, the quarterbackless Dolphins. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Boomer Sooner wants to know if we're still getting rain. I don't know. I haven't looked out. It's been kind of raining on and off all day here, out here in the East Valley. You still getting rain in the Scottsdale there, Keon?
No, not anymore. Actually, the sun's starting to peek out from behind the clouds.
I ain't seen the sun in quite a few days. What about you, Randy? You got rain out there in the west side?
No, nothing right now. Kind of cloudy conditions out here on the west side.
It's been a soggy day, but I like it. Listen, this is the time. My wife and I went for a walk yesterday, and it was like I told her, I said, "This is my kind of weather." Because I as a kid, I lived in Oregon, and we did everything. Now it's not constantly raining in Oregon, but it's usually overcast and has rained at some point during the day. But we're walking, and it just felt nice. I barely broke a sweat. We were like 4 or 5 miles or something, and it was just nice. This is my kind of weather. So enjoy this weather. Enjoy it while you can, because in 2 weeks it'll be 100 degrees, and we're all going to wonder once again, the hell do we live here for? The hell do we live here for?
I'd say more than 2 weeks.
Why do we live here?
That's a great question.
No rain.
I got nothing. 888-368-1580. CK says if Staley is fired, Sean Payton will be the new Chargers head coach. Are you what? What do you think that you win the Sean Payton raffle? I honestly don't think Sean Payton's going anywhere. But does anybody who knows anything have any idea which team Sean Payton is going to go with?
I don't think anybody knows exactly which team, but it was reported early on in the process when he decided he would start taking interviews that he wanted to go someplace with a quarterback. He wanted to go someplace where he had, influence over the general managing, whether that was him or somebody he handpicked, and somewhere warm weather. Those were the three things that he put out there. So, Chargers would definitely fit because you'd have Justin Herbert. I'm sure that they wouldn't mind allowing him to choose whatever general manager he wanted. And it's California.
Well, I mean, that explains why Arizona was one of the ones that popped up early on, and it explains what he might be thinking of LA for. But I honestly I swear to you, I really have this gut feeling he ain't going nowhere. He's going to spend another year at Fox. That's what I think. You know,
I agree, but I think that's because the Saints are going to demand too much. They're just going to ask for a number of picks that I don't think anybody's going to be comfortable giving up.
We shall see. We shall see. And okay, so they could announce a head coach any day, right? I mean, they can hire somebody right now. There's no moment they have to wait.
No.
If they interview one of these coaches, they could say, "That's our guy right there." Boom, done, signed, sealed, delivered. He's yours.
As long as you've completed your Rooney Rule interview, you can hire whoever, whenever.
If not Sean Payton, who? I'm talking about my Colts too. I have got no idea. I have no idea. I've seen all the names. I've seen all the people they brought in. I have no idea. 0% of an idea.
Let's see.
I know who you want, Randy. I know who I'd want. But there's just no way of knowing. So I guess we'll just keep watching. Cardinal Art says, where's Norv Turner? June Jones, Kevin Gilbride, Mike McCoy, hell, even Bobby Ross when the Chargers need him. Lost Toby says, my soccer games got canceled because apparently it rained too much. Soft ass league. Well, if you got a big, slick, playing field of goo and mess, well, I've played in that. I remember when I was a kid, I played in it, but we were just dumb kids. So, all right, let's talk about the Bills beating the Dolphins. We all knew that was going to happen, but nobody knew the Dolphins were going to play them so tough. That right there, if you're talking about firing Staley, you got to be thinking about this McDaniel. What's his name again? Mike McDaniel?
McDaniel.
Yeah, okay.
The CPA, the
little
accountant.
weirdo. I call him the little weirdo. He just looks like a little weirdo. Was he vaping, by the way? I think I saw him vaping.
Was. Yeah, I think he was.
Well, that must have been so stressful. You are in a stressful situation if you're just like,
all of the nicotine that I can have in my bloodstream, please.
Because it's cold and everybody thinks if you're breathing, all the air looks the same for everybody. But there he was on the sideline. And that was a great game. Yeah, that was a great game. And you got to give the Dolphins all the credit. But they were right in that the entire time. But here come the Bills. They just had everything they needed to get that done. And that is the end of that.
The only reason that game was as close as it was, and not to take away from the rookie quarterback for the Dolphins, but the Bills did not play up to their normal par. Hey, Jared Allen just did not look sharp. He did not look crisp with his passes. The offensive line gave up some sacks that they shouldn't have. They had defense in the backfield harassing Jared Allen.
Well, they should have played Josh Allen. I think they would have had an easier time.
Josh Allen. I don't know why I'm saying Jared, but must be the cold medicine. But the bottom line is, I don't think the Bills played up to their potential.
No, they looked a little bit rough. And also remember, the Dolphins were using Skylar Thompson, another third-string quarterback.
Yeah, I think that the Bills weren't playing up to their potential, but that's been the story of the Bills this season. If anything trips up the Bills and stops them from going to a Super Bowl, is that the Bills are stopping the Bills. It's Josh Allen can be really reckless, when he throws passes. Sometimes you don't know if it's going to be a caught pass or an interception. You really have no clue, and that is a really scary thing that I think they've got to have to get back under control a little bit. You want him to feel free. You want him to feel like he can go out there and make all the throws he needs to make. And he does have that gunslinger mentality, but I do think that there is a point where Sean McDermott needs to rein that in just a little bit, because if anything's going to hurt the Bills, it's that.
So Skylar Thompson, by comparison, Brock Purdy has proven to everybody, hey, NFL, I'm a starting quarterback. Okay, nobody's going to argue with that. Skylar Thompson, what did he prove to everybody yesterday? Did he prove to everybody he might be a starting quarterback? Did they prove to everybody pretty good backup right there.
Yeah, he's got. I think he's proved he's got starter potential, but he's not even close to it. If he is, that's what he proved to me, is that he clearly understands what he's doing, but he's not at that same clearly advanced level like Brock Purdy is. And it's a cool comparison to make, because normally when you compare quarterbacks across teams, one guy's on a really crappy team, the other guy's not. He's got as many weapons as Brock Purdy has. You know, when they run the ball, Miami, they don't necessarily have a Christian McCaffrey type guy. When you talk about the weapons that he has to throw the ball to, the offensive line that he is behind, the defense that is backing him up, which isn't a great defense, but it's a pretty solid defense. He could have done more, but to ask that of a 7th round rookie, I think he did well enough.
Last Optimist says Josh Allen played like he caught Tua's concussion.
Josh Allen played like Josh Allen's been playing this year, man. That's just what he's done so far.
Randy's Chuckle says Josh threw 2 picks and fumbled twice. You can't win playoff games that way.
No.
Well,
no.
You can't. You can if you're playing the Dolphins. Sorry, Fish Tank. So sorry. Hamilton Porter says Mike McDaniel looks like Ruxin from the league. Oh man, no,
you don't think so?
He looks more like Mark Anthony, J-Lo's ex-husband, the sweaty little guy that she used to be with. It looks more like that guy, or like his nerdy twin brother. You know what I'm saying? But Ruxin, because of the glasses, I don't know.
Funny, the
but
face does kind of seem kind of similar to me.
Not so much, but close. That's not bad. Hamilton Porter. Thundar Santa Barbarian says Colts are going to go with Deion Sanders as coach. No.
I mean, there is a list of people that the Colts have been interviewing. Not going to read all of them, but the defense,
it's everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wide net, but they're looking at the offensive and defensive coordinator for the Lions. They're also interviewing DeMeco Ryans. They've interviewed Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator Shane Steichen from the Eagles. So just everywhere.
Makes you wonder how many of these are Zoom calls, because can you imagine these guys who are on the list to interview with all these teams, just flying, stay all over the place, and do the teams treat it like the colleges would treat like a recruit, like kind of thing, like get them some food, some hookers, some blow, whatever they need. I don't know. Do they roll out the red carpet for all these guys? Or is this more just like job interview where it's like, all right, well, we can have a Zoom call here at 2:30. What do you think?
Well, no, I don't think they roll out the red carpet. Not unless you're Sean Payton, in which case there is no red carpet because everybody goes to visit you. So that's really what happens there. But no, they just bring you in, and these interviews can be kind of grueling. They're like 8-10 hour sessions where you just sit down and explain your entire philosophy. And you got personnel people coming in with film cut-ups going, okay, you see this defense, what player are you calling? You see this offense, what player are you calling? What do you do in this situation? What is your thought process on going for 2 when you're down 4? There's a whole thing. I mean, they're grilling these guys because you want to get it right.
Okay, I got a question. And we were supposed to be talking about these games, but we keep diverting. But here's the question: is Sean Payton really worth all that? I mean, he won 1 Super Bowl, right? Was it 1?
It was 1.
Super Bowl. And the Saints were pretty good most of the time, but you know what I'm saying? And he got in trouble. He was suspended for a year.
For the bounty gate. I think he is, because it wasn't like they were pretty good. They made the playoffs and won that division for a long ass time. Their run of just dominating the NFC South until he didn't have a quarterback. So I happen to think that he is. I happen to think that his offenses work. And if he had the right guy at quarterback, he'd still be coaching in New Orleans. They had no cap space. And so they were stuck with, well, let's try and see if we can kick the tires on Jameis. Oh boy, that's not working. Let's see if we can kick the tires on Andy Dalton. It's just, they just didn't have the personnel there, and they didn't have the cap space to get out of it. And he felt trapped, so he left. But I think he's worth it.
All right.
Because winning 1 Super Bowl is already hard in and of itself. You don't have to win multiple.
A lot of years ago, though, man. It's a lot of years ago.
I mean, it is, but that still to me doesn't take anything away from it. It's hard to win them.
Cardinal Art says, damn, Keon actually speaking facts. Tampa Toms by 14 tonight. Good work, guys. Thundar San Barbarian says, if you're Bob Kraft, you roll out the hookers, well, at least for yourself. Quiet Cannon says, I totally agree. Pretty has the weapons. He's got more experience than Skyler. All things considered, Skyler did a good job going against the overdogs Bills. What the hell is he talking about?
You used to say Skyler Thompson. Yeah.
Quiet Cannon, but you're a little bit confusing there. I'm not going to lie. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
I mean, my king, you're up early.
Awake, Merlin. I've had a dream that needs interpretation.
Sorry, he turned into an owl and flew the coop 4 days ago.
Good sorcerers, seers, and mystics are hard to come by anymore. And given the inevitable uncertainties of life, ensuring against calamity is always the smarter play. From benefits and workers' comp to home business and group health insurance, Cole Hayes Insurance will secure your future. For a free quote, visit mycommercialinsurance.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Huzzah! Weekends, February 4th through April 2nd. Great shopping, a giant crafts market. Your favorite shows.
Be ready to have a great time and don't be afraid to participate.
Huzzah! Just night.
Huzzah!
Silly fun for the entire family.
Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival.
Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable.
You will adore the Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Huzzah! Weekends, February 4th through April 2nd. Discount tickets available at Dashes and Food City or online at arizona.rentfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Dashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Dennis.
You can always save on Renaissance Festival admission with discount tickets at Dashes and Food City stores statewide. Huzzah!
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
I taught for 20 years until I started forgetting my lectures.
Eventually, he had to quit. Getting his early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard, but it gave us time to take control of the situation together.
I can't imagine going through this without him.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix
at 99.3 FM.
and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Scratch Me Because says, roll out the hookers and blow. Is that what roll tide means? That would make a lot more sense, but probably not. Thank you for that. 888-368-1580. We were trying to talk about all the games that happened over the weekend, but we've been extremely bad at it because we keep getting distracted talking about other things. But we'll see what we can do. I mean, we were just starting to talk about the Bills having all sorts of trouble with Skylar Thompson and the Dolphins. You know, is this going to be every game where the Bills, put their foots in it and then they got to try to clean it off and come back?
I hope not. I mean, they take on Cincinnati this weekend. They better get their act together because
Cincinnati does the same thing sometimes.
Well, I mean, Cincinnati's got a legitimate starting quarterback, and that defense is for real. I mean, they held Baltimore to what was it, 5 point something yards on average per play in the fourth quarter. I mean,
there's a reason for that. We'll talk about that later. There's more to it than just them holding him to it.
I'm just saying the bottom line is Buffalo can't afford to give themselves self-inflicted wounds. They're going to have to play a sharp game against Cincinnati.
All right. So, you would think that DeMar Hamlin going by the practice facility would have given them the sort of run through brick wall mentality going in. But he did not attend the game, and probably because, they're worried. Well, it's bad enough you're jumping up and down screaming when people are doing stuff. This is maybe not the time. But I have a feeling, and I'm not a doctor by any means, but I think DeMar Hamlin's going to be back in training camp next year. I think he's going to be back and fine. He seems like he's recovering, cranking along just nicely. I mean, again, I know we've got some doctors listening. What is the prognosis or the recovery time? People always tell me they know the recovery time for an ACL, MCI, CIA, whatever the hell it is in your knees and stuff. So, if, the cause of it was a freak hit that stopped his heart, and now, everything's, on its way back to normal. Don't you think back to normal could include getting back to exercise here pretty soon?
Maybe
You're not a doctor. I wasn't asking you.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm not saying that I'm having the answer. I'm saying it's an unprecedented situation even for doctors, because we've never had a guy have a heart attack on the field in any sport and be out that long and come back. No one's seen this.
A new texter on the text line 0143 says the Dolphins had a lot of drop passes too. Yeah, fair enough. There's various reasons somebody is going to drop a pass. Radio Ron says, blah, blah, blah. How about we talk about something more important? Like what's everybody eating tonight while watching the football game?
Why is that more important than the game itself? I don't even remember what I ate yesterday. I
don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to eat. I've had heartburn lately, so I don't know. What are you guys eating?
I have no idea.
No, you're right, Ron. This is great. Fecal Miss says, I heard earlier today the records of Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton, very similar with one Super Bowl for each. So why is Payton thought of so much more highly? That's what I'm saying. Thank you for that, Fecal Miss.
It's how they did it, though. Mike McCarthy, first off, has actively cost the Packers like more runs at the Super Bowl than he should have. The fact that he continued to be the coach like after several clock mismanagement runs is insane to me. But Sean Payton had a level of success that was constant with the Saints. They ruled the NFC South, just completely dominated it until Tom Brady got there. That, and the fact that in that Super Bowl, it was Sean Payton's gutsiness that won them the damn Super Bowl. And honestly, they should have gone to another Super Bowl, except there was a egregious holding call that wasn't called that stopped the Saints from going again. I don't think that those two things are comparable, because not every Super Bowl is the same. Mike McCarthy never had the run that Sean Payton had regular season after regular season. And then sometimes you go into the playoffs and these one game sample sizes, you get knocked out because you have a bad game. But that doesn't mean that Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton are the same coach. If they were both available right now, you hiring Mike McCarthy? Really? You really
Jerry
doing it?
Jones did.
Jerry Jones did.
Yeah.
And Mike McCarthy sat there and said, look, I changed my ways. I've studied the data. I've tried to update the way I've coached football. And then like after he got hired, he admitted he did none of those things. And it's Jerry Jones.
Lost Toby says Bills or Bengals will beat KC. You high. Let me tell you why. Because Kansas City is something that neither of those two teams are consistent. There's a lot of consistency. If you were to take a step back and look at how the Chiefs have done, there's a lot of good consistency there. You got a head coach who's brilliant. You got a quarterback who is brilliant. No, I don't. I don't believe that is a
See,
given that the Bills or Bengals will beat Kansas City.
Kansas City's defense to me though is suspect. I
That-
think the Bills are still the front runner.
That's what I was saying. I was going to say, Randy, the Kansas City has been consistent, including consistently bad on defense. They give up a ton of points, and when people throw the ball on them, they're particularly bad. They're 24th.
But you end up with a shootout. Kansas City is going to be more consistent than Allen is on his end of it,
which is true. But I think the Bills defense makes it possible that it's not even a shootout. Then what do you do?
I believe in the Chiefs personally. Jagdog says swordfish steaks on the grill, twice baked potatoes, Crown Royal. Boom, there's my dinner. You know what? That's the thing about the twice baked potatoes. You know, you bake them once, and that's just like you don't just bake them twice. You bake the potato, scoop them out, you mash the potato, you put it back into the baked potato, and then you bake them again with, I guess, what?
Yeah,
cheese
but you
on them?
add those little giblets of love in there to that mashed potato
I
mix.
am not putting my giblets in no damn potatoes.
You add some of them giblets of love.
That's kind of weird.
Get a little bit of that garlic in there. You maybe get some bacon in there. Oh my God, you get
Mhm.
Oh, who knows? You put some giblets of love in there, and then
Can I
you
just be
stuff
honest,
those
though?
back in that baked potato.
Why not just have some damn mashed potatoes? Because that's all you're really doing anyway.
Because
Just
you're
give me some
adding-
mashed potatoes.
I just told you, you're adding giblets of love in there.
You could put your giblets in mashed potatoes as much as you put them in a half
point.
baked potato.
Yeah, but that skin on the baked potato.
Hook 'em Hottie
Mm.
says, I'm having nachos. Go Cowboys. If the Cowboys don't beat themselves, then they could win. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your team is a fraud like the Vikings. I've been saying that for a while. And, the Buccaneers, both these teams will end up beating themselves before they beat the other team, it feels like. How's
Yeah.
that for a take?
It just makes sense for the Buccaneers because the Buccaneers are at least 8-9. Like there's an explanation as to how they're doing it. I have no idea how Dallas manages to take a shotgun, aim it at their foot, and pull the trigger every single week, but they do.
That must hurt.
And yet they continue to do it. I have no idea.
We have an actual doctor, a surgeon, also just showing you the diversity of this audience is bonkers. Screaming Eagle says it is possible Lamar Jackson could be back for training camp. I'm sorry, not Damar Hamlin. Sorry. You are talking about Hamlin. EP cardiologists have to complete all the diagnostic tests. So, sorry, depends on the exact diagnosis to determine how soon he'll come back. Right. And, so he could be back for it. It just depends on how things go. But of course, Screaming Eagle, with all those years of med school and experience as a doctor, as a surgeon, Radio Ron just only wants to know what you're having for dinner tonight. So if you could please text that in, it's very important. Carl Art says, oh yeah, by the way, I'm also having a jalapeno Philly cheese dip. Ooh, that's good. That's nice. Average Joe says, I keep my giblets out of my mashed potatoes. Apple pie, however.
You put giblets in your apple pie?
Well, some kid did.
Or you put apple
they made
pie
a whole
in
movie
your
about it.
mashed potatoes.
888-368-1580. So let's move on now because we are running out of time here. Giants were able to hold off the Vikings. And now they got to go play old Philadelphia Eagles there. Do we know if Jalen Hurts is going to be able to play for the Eagles?
Oh, he's going to be out there. He's going to be on the field playing.
Yeah, but we think that. You hope that.
He played in the last
really
game.
Ready?
He played in the last. Well, whether he's ready or not,
He wasn't ready in the last game of the season, and they ran him out there, and they'll run him out there again.
Yeah, they should have waited to run him out there because I wonder if he's going to be really up to this challenge. Screaming Eagle says, "I'm having Malnati's pizza and salad." Ooh, that's not bad. Tioa says, "I'm having frijoles, arroz, albondigas, and agua de horchata." Can you just tell me what the crap is in Spanish? I mean, in English, because I got beans and the rest I have no idea. Let's see.
I like horchata. That's good.
Carl Art says, hey, read my first text about the tacos. Oh, sorry. We're making carne asada street tacos off the grill, as well as nacho con queso, dip pico guacamole latas, and a whole bunch of beer and whiskey. Nice.
Okay.
I don't know. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, God. My wife loves me, by the way. You know what I had for breakfast?
Tacos.
Chorizo burrito.
Oh, see.
I haven't had one of those in forever.
Oh, there you go.
She went and got it at some Burroughs, which means horrible experience, but brought back. It was pretty good on the inside, although there was an awful lot of tortilla. They put too much tortilla and you're like, it's kind of like that. But once you got into the meaty goodness of it, I also noticed something else. Not a whole lot of egg in that breakfast burrito. Why? Because eggs are expensive. So I got shorted on the eggs in the egg and chorizo burrito, but it was tasty chorizo and I was happy. Still burping it up. Tia says, okay, so in English, that's beans, rice, meatballs, and horchata. Is that a drink?
Yes.
Yeah.
That fruit weird drink. Yeah, my wife loves that stuff. Okay, back to the game. So Vikings, what happened there? Boy, seemed like they had it all under control there, and Kirk Cousins doing Kirk Cousins things, and then it just got Daniel Jones, the accountant at large. He stepped up, didn't he? Oh, that guy, this big, lanky, weird white guy just comes running at you, and you're like, what the hell is that? And it just ends up getting the first down on you.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
He's so awkward.
Yes.
That people forget that Daniel Jones is actually extremely fast.
Yeah.
Like his 40 time was insane.
And not interested in you trying to tackle him. He doesn't care what you do. That guy, I hope he doesn't get hurt, but maybe he's just too big to get hurt. That was some impressive runs we saw him make.
Yeah, I mean, that was the reason why they drafted him. When I saw that, I was like, oh, where's this been for like the last 4 years? And part of it is Brian Dable. You got to give him credit. Some of those designed runs get Daniel Jones going, and then he feels really comfortable when he has to scramble. He can get out of the pocket, and that is legitimate speed.
And how about Saquon Barkley having a day?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he had 28-yard run for a touchdown, 2-yard run for a touchdown, 53 yards on 9 carries, 5 passes for 56 yards. He was all over the place. Saquon Barkley doing his Saquon Barkley thing, but look at Daniel Jones though, 78 yards, 17 different times he ran it. And a lot of that is by design, a lot of that is by improvisation. But Daniel Jones reminds me of Ash versus Evil Dead. He looks like Bruce Campbell.
Like a young Bruce Campbell, yeah.
But you see them steely sort of eyes coming at you, and he's running his big, lanky body. You're like, oh, God.
There's not a whole lot. I don't think there's you want any part of that. You really don't. And I think the important part of the stat line for Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's taking care of the football.
Yeah, and you needed to do that. The Vikings, they were a good team, but like I said, frauds. And now 1 fraud down, 1 fraud to go. Let's see what happens with the Cowboys tonight.
I just want to say one last thing. I don't want to ever hear anyone try to convince me that Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback ever again. Please, I am asking you kindly. Do not do this.
I'll be honest. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He's also streaky.
You have Kirk Cousins tucked away in an 11 o'clock game somewhere. He is the greatest quarterback you've ever seen. The moment human beings have to watch him play football, gone. You can't find him. State
Street Brat says, I love the expression that we use, let's kick the tires this guy, when it comes to an athlete. How come when a buddy says, hey, what we're doing this weekend, we don't just say, well, I plan on kicking the tires on a date with this girl Friday night. All right. Well, I don't know. When you say kick the tires, I think of somebody's getting kicked in the ankles, and that's a good way to not get a second date. That's all I'm saying. Lost Toby says Danny Dimes going to get paid and set the Giants back a few years. Yeah, they sort of left him hanging this year, didn't they? They didn't even make any effort to sign him to a new contract.
And they shouldn't have. Based on the previous 4 years, there was nothing there to pay. Brian Dable has come and he's figured it out. And so you go, okay, with this coach, I think it's finally worth paying this quarterback.
Cardinal Art says tomorrow for Taco Tuesday, ground beef tacos, homemade refried beans, and a rosa, which is rice and homemade by the missus. Scylla. I don't know how to say that. Is it Scylla? Cilla? Scylla? Sorry, Priscilla? I don't know. Cards Chappie says he's making some pollo asada with fresh mango pico. Always good hearing you all here on the islands. What is he talking about islands?
He's in Oahu.
What do you listen to this garbage for?
That guy knows. Just
go outside.
You're on vacation. You're listening to
Jesus.
us.
He's not on vacation.
That.
He lives there.
Oh, he lives there. Well, that's still even worse.
Hey, look, I've watched a lot of Magnum PI, the old version, not this garbage they're trying to float out now. I've watched a lot of Magnum PI. Trust me, you got to get outside. You keep listening. You get your ass outside. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we've got that's it. One more game to talk about. I think we're gonna make it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If you like burritos, which you do because everyone does, you should try Taco Bell's Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde grilled chicken burritos. These masterpieces start with a warm flour tortilla that we stuff with grilled chicken. But the real stars here are the bold sauces, Chipotle Ranch or Salsa Verde. In fact, the chicken is the stage upon which these sauces shine. Like this mic is a stage for me to spotlight my theatrical range. 2 chicken burritos, 2 bold flavors, $2 each. Order on the Taco Bell app. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation which vary. Tax extra while supplies last.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears radio show, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. I am here today to make the statement that just because we're in a bear market does not mean that you have to be losing money. Just like Michael Burry and Warren Buffett, bear markets should be where real generational wealth is created. But most will follow the same broken strategy that lost them in the last bear market. We are inviting you to come to an intensive 3-day trading and investing class where we will show you the trading and investing strategies of the market wizards. This class is typically $299, but right now, for 66% off, you can join us in this class. Just call 8448-TRADER. That's 8448-872337 and tell the operator you want the $99 3-day class, or text $99 to 25029. That's $99 to 25029.
Sun Devil men's basketball is better in person. Catch the Sun Devils when they return to Desert Financial Arena to face the nationally ranked UCLA Bruins Thursday, January 19th. And enjoy Kevin Shiflett, the chin balancer, at halftime. The USC Trojans come to Nedwell Court Saturday, January 21st to close out the weekend. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball, onward to victory.
As a kids, we all loved hopping on our bikes and hitting the road.
I'll be back for dinner. See ya.
Well, bikes just got reinvented for us big kids. If you haven't tried an electric bike, you have no idea what you're missing. Hit the road, the trails, or the beach by pedaling or not pedaling.
It's like being a kid all over again.
Start with the best. Hemingway e-bikes are the best fat tire electric bikes sold. Since 2017, Hemingway is known for durability, price, safety, and fun. Hemingway is the long-range e-bike experts, taking you faster and farther on a single charge. Hemingway sells direct to the consumer, ships right to your home, and has over 2,000 5-star reviews. Choose from 7 models, all with an unprecedented 2-year warranty. Find out why over 50,000 customers call Hemingway the best e-bike there is. Go to HemingwayEbike.com. That's HIMIWAY ebike.com. Now save up to $250 with promo code FANATIC. Go to HemingwayEbike.com.
Remember last year when you wanted to hear that NFL matchup, but you couldn't because you were at your nephew's birthday party and the Fanatic couldn't stream the NFL on their app? Didn't that suck?
Well, those days are over, pal. Now you can listen live to every primetime NFL game on the Fanatic app. Download the app now at the Google Play Store or the App Store, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Yes, we all heard it, King Kittens. Chin balancer. It's like Red Panda is the one who got on the unicycle and spins the plates, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but she's not a chin balancer.
The hell is a chin balancer? And do I really want to know
what it sounds like?
He balances stuff on his chin.
Oh, Keon, you don't know what it sounds like.
Well, if only if your mind's not in the gutter.
A ladder, a bicycle.
Okay. Yeah, and people like this. Why? Why is this a thing?
Well, it's like sort of like Weird human tricks back in the day with the
Mhm.
Dave. Dave used to do weird human tricks.
I mean, that's all this guy does. He's like, oh, hey, everybody, I'm going to bounce some stuff on my chin.
Yeah, cars, airplanes.
And I don't think he's that. No,
He balances everything on his chin.
I don't think that's true.
He's
at
got
all.
a chin that's bigger than Jay Leno's.
I'd like to know what he actually balances on said chin.
I just
get
told you,
a
cars,
ladder. No, you're not
cruise
balancing.
ships,
No, stop it. There's no this that's not
B-52.
happening. 0% chance that's happening. There's no way. I want an actual list of stuff, and not from you, Randy. I want
the chin balancer.
It just sounds dirty, though.
This guy
doesn't
is
it?
world renowned.
It does.
Why does it sound so dirty?
I mean, if I explained it, I would lose my job. So.
Fat lady at the circus balances her on a chin.
There's no way. Well, maybe. 888-368-1580. All right. So the last thing we have left to talk about is the Bengals and the. No, we talked about that, didn't we? Wait, no. No. Yes, Bengals and Ravens. Bengals and Ravens.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson didn't play last night because he is hurt, and there's people who have witnessed him hobbled and limping around facility, and he was never going to play. Last night, and of course, people don't know any better what's happening. And so Mike Vick comes out and he's like, hey, put a brace on it. Let's go. He's like, hey, it's the playoffs. You got 3 games to the Super Bowl. Put a brace. Get it going. Put a brace. I played a whole season with a sprained MCL. And then RG3 steps in and says, excuse me? Hey, this is why you don't just put a brace on it and play. I played with no ACL and LCL from my brothers, from my team. Changed the trajectory of my career. Hindsight's 2020. I didn't have the luxury of that. Lamar does, and he's doing the right thing. And I think I agree with RG3. I don't know why Mike Vick, wants to talk about it. Ex-con Mike Vick, why he wants to talk about it. Dog killer Mike Vick. I don't know why he felt like he needed to go in there and sort of shame Lamar Jackson for not playing. Listen, there's one thing we've seen about him. Unless it's serious injury or he's got to use the bathroom, he's going to be on the field, minus ow or ooh, he's going to be on the field. And, he's never going to poop his pants on the field, but
which is wise.
Yeah, I think I'm going to listen to RG3 on this and not dogfight expert Michael Vick on this.
Well, because and I think that they're both coming from an honest place. Michael Vick he sees himself as kind of like the older brother to Lamar Jackson, because Michael Vick was the first guy to do what Lamar is doing to the league right now, and RG3 is in that same lineage. But the difference is that RG3 had his entire career destroyed, and I think that if you look at what you stand to lose in that way, you obviously have to side with what Robert Griffin is saying. And I can say that as a Commander fan, that I watched that game and I wished he hadn't gone out there. He was being tough. They had a 14-0 lead on Seattle, tears the ACL. They lose the game, and he's never the same afterwards. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tyler Huntley did pretty good. I think he did a fine job. They would have won the game if Tyler Huntley had waited a moment to extend. There were people who were pushing. That play was not going to be over. He extended too soon, which enabled somebody to pop it out of his hands and right into Sam Hubbard's completely surprised, mitts right there. And, if he had waited just a couple more moments and then thrust it forward, maybe that would not have happened.
Does he make the line though? Does he make the line though?
He would have. He would have made the line, because what happened is there was a second push coming. If he had just held that ball and then pushed it forward, even if he pushed it under a guy, you know what I'm saying? Even if he pushed it in a certain way, but when you put it up in the air like Simba from the Lion King, you're going to get Matumbo knock that crap down, and that's what happened. And Sam Hubbard, though, that guy cracks me up. That guy, he ran. I was running, and just out of nowhere. But I don't know what's more impressive: Sam Hubbard running those 98 yards and getting the touchdown, or Jesus Christ, Mark Andrews came up behind him like a freight train. I really thought that Mark Andrews was going to catch him, and he nearly did. He got a piece of his, you can see, if you see the replay from the front, he hits him in the calf. But that's as close as he got because somebody kind of pushed him. Then he kind of started to stumble and went down. He was very damn close to taking Hubbard down, but
they tracked the speed on Mark Andrews. That is the fastest he's ever run in his career.
Yep. Let's see. What was it? 18 miles an hour, 17 miles an hour, something like that. And, Hubbard knew he was coming too. I think he was watching on the screen. He's like, oh crap, here comes the guy. So whatever the case, they damn near won. J.K. Dobbins, though, he's jibber jabbering saying, hey, if we had Lamar Jackson, we would have won. Kind of a jerk thing to say with Tyler Huntley sitting right there. But he also was more saying, I'm the guy. I should have been on the field more. They should have been running me. It shouldn't be up to Huntley to try to punch that in. Why didn't they give me the ball more?
I actually do question that because they weren't on the 1. They were on the 2.
Right.
So to try and go quarterback sneak from the 2-yard line is weird. It's not the worst call in the world. Because like you said, I agree with you. If he held on to it, he might have made it. But you don't see a quarterback sneak from the 2-yard line very often, especially when you have a guy as good as JK.
Dobbins was mad when he got his touchdown. I couldn't understand it until now I heard this. Because he came over the side and somebody was sitting there talking to him and he was mad, kind of like calm him down. Hey, it's okay. Harbaugh leans over and he's like, what's going on, man? It's all good. And he was like, no, I should be out there more. That was the point. So even at that point in the game, Dobbins had made his thoughts known to Harbaugh. And that's a good question mark. And I think it's a fair question for Harbaugh now that is suddenly your off season. Why didn't you play J.K. Dobbins more in some of those situations?
Yeah, I would agree.
And I know that Dobbins isn't the same guy he was before he got hurt. That pop that he had when they drafted him is not quite there, but he's still very capable. I mean, they did rely on him for stretches of this season. So it's just bizarre.
Yeah, the Ravens had a good game. I know the scorer is not going to tell you that, but Mark Andrews, he had a really stellar game for even himself. Tyler Huntley did, I thought, a pretty good job. It was all pretty good. The Bengals are just better. And that's just a fact. That's the way it is. They did get a lucky break, though, because, boy, if he had punched that touchdown in, that was going to be a rough road for the Bengals. It would have been a tied. I think it would have been a tied score there.
And it would have tied the game. But yeah, and the Bengals hadn't figured out that defense yet. They still hadn't put it together what the Ravens were doing. So there's no guarantee that the Bengals get the ball back and score just at all.
So that was just some great playoff games. There was not one game I was like, well, that sucked. A couple of them got slow here and there, but for the most part, make sure you're tuned in during the fourth quarter. Every one of those games, if you weren't watching the fourth quarter, you missed something. You missed something good. King Kitten says, Tom Brady for the win. You know what? I'm rooting for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And, don't be surprised if the Cowboys don't pull this off. They'll be shown a fraud the next game if they win this game. But I have changed my pick to the Buccaneers because Keon and Randy talked me into it. Well, because I was kind of feeling that.
Yeah.
I won't blame you. And I won't credit you either.
That's fair.
All right, guys. Cowboys, Buccaneers, Monday Night Football playoff-ish stuff next, 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Gil Alexander. Join Matt Brown and me for Primetime Action